Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We're broadcasting live this evening from Bethel College in Mishawaka, Indiana. We're live from the Gates Gymnasium at the Y Camp Athletic Center. I'm Paul Condry along with the coach, Mark Gardner. Glad that you can join us here for Crossroads League basketball as the Bethel College Pilots come into today's game, ranked number 15 in the Crossroads League in the poll that just came out, taking on the 24th ranked Huntington University Foresters in a key Crossroads League game. Foresters 15-3 on the season. Most importantly, 5-1 in conference play. The Bethel Pilots coming in at 14-4 and 3-3. Pilots in the midst of a two-game losing streak. A very, very unique situation for this group so far on the season, Coach. But it's not similar that this group knows what it's like, because a year ago they were mired in a four-game skid. So they kind of know how to fight through it. For the freshmen, it's their first time. In many cases, some of these freshmen that are playing right now, their varsity season as a high score, that's over and done with by now.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the Pilots showed last year, that they can handle adversity. They needed to win at the end of the year to win out to get to Branson. They did. They were able to go to Branson and have a good showing. And so for the upperclassmen, this is nothing new. They can handle this. They're used to this. For the freshmen, this is certainly a new situation for Ryan Wassink, Caleb Ochin. Need those guys to step up and play and not play like freshmen anymore.
The Pilots are glad to have the services of Zach Miller tonight. I know Pilot Nation out there is happy to report that. Obviously, when you have the top shooter in the country back in the lineup, it certainly should pay some dividends for BC tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know how well Zach will shoot. I don't know where his legs are at from missing time, but just having him on the floor is going to open up driving lanes for Matt Schouts. It's going to open up the post play for Pat Edding and Michael Mislin, because you can't double down when Zach's on the floor. You have to honor his shooting ability.
When you look at this Huntington University team, you have to respect the big man in the middle, 6'5", 205-pound Fort Wayne Carroll product, Shane Merriman. He has been one of the best players in the Crossroads League since he came into the league. Certainly is a strong candidate for the Crossroads League Player of the Year. You can talk about his work. He runs down the floor. He can shoot the long ball. He can play inside. Very methodical player, but at the end of the night, he's got 22 points and nearly 10 rebounds. That's what the Pilots are going to have to contend with tonight.
Yeah, and we saw that, from a guy like Pat Hopkins. The Crossroads League has a lot of good big men over the years, and again, this year Shane's one of them. I think the big key for Shane is, can the Pilots wear him down? Can the Pilots are deeper. Huntington only plays 7, maybe 8 guys, and so if the Pilots can wear Shane down by running the floor, I think it's going to be an advantage Bethel.
When you look at the Pilots where they're at right now, I hate to say this is a must-win situation, but you're nearing the midway point of the Crossroads League schedule. I talked with Matt Schouts just moments ago, and he says this is game 1 of our 12-game win streak, and I think he's got the right attitude, and they're certainly going to need that to have that kind of mentality going into tonight's game.
I think back in October when you walked in the locker room, it said Branson starts today. This is game 1 of our Branson run, and so these guys, they want to get back there. They tasted it last year. They had success, and certainly you don't want to fall 4 games behind a team in the conference this early.
Always a very, very competitive rivalry, as is all the teams in this league. This is the 97th meeting between these two clubs. Last year, the Pilots were able to take advantage in most of the situations they had against this club. When you look at the new group coming in, it's a very, very freshman-dominated roster that's played very, very well. Derek Heinen, a young man who's played a big, big role in the early going. Kyle Pippinger also. Daniel Wall, also a big part of the success of this team. Anytime you have a talented group returning and you add some nice, talented freshmen into the lineup, it always makes an interesting dynamic for Huntington.
Yeah, it does, and we've seen that, though. You just never know what to expect from freshmen. We saw freshman Frank Francis come out and had a great game against us at the guard position. So you take it. We've seen Caleb Ochin come out and shoot the lights out and play real well. We've seen Caleb come out and shoot 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 and struggle. And so that's the downside, but certainly a good team. And there's a reason that their record is 15-3 and they're 5-1 in the conference.
Well, talk about your keys to the game, Coach. What do you think the Pilots have to do to be successful tonight?
3 keys tonight. Got to contest shooters. This team likes to shoot 3-point shots. I don't think containing Merriman's not a big deal. We've seen him defend well against Conan, so I think they'll do okay on Merriman. Contest shots, keep them off the glass. This is a very good offensive rebounding team for Huntington, and then run the floor. It's not a deep team. The Pilots are deeper, so try and run the floor so late in the game the Pilots have that energy.
The 97th meeting between the Pilots and the Huntington University Foresters. Pilots are 38-10 here at home in Mishawaka against the Foresters. We'll be back with Bethel men's basketball right after this brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
Bethel, wishing you all a happy and Merry Christmas.
The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give rocks or toys for tots.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office, he was beaten. He started a business, he failed. He ran for Congress, he lost. He was nominated for vice president, he lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Knowledge.com.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
UFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Glad that you can join us here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Connery along with the coach, Mark Gardner. Matt Copsey also sitting in with us this evening. The 14-4 Bethel College Pilots, 3-3 in the Crossroads League, ranked 15th in the country right now as they have fallen from 4th to 15 after a pair of losses. The Foresters, after a loss this past week, have dropped down from their vantage point where they were at before from 20th to 24th now in key Crossroads League play. Our coverage of college basketball today presented in part by the Gates Automotive Group. Serving Michiana for over 80 years, Gates' promise of fairness, honesty, integrity can be seen each day at Gates downtown. The Gates of Granger, the Gates Chevy World of Mishawaka, Gates Scion and Toyota in South Bend, and the Gates Ireland Road location. Also our game being presented in part by Teachers Credit Union, a proud corporate partner of Regional Radio Sports. We also want to thank our friends at Beef O'Brady's. Good food, good sport. Beef O'Brady's, home of the Coach's Box, every Thursday night from 6 to 7 Eastern Time on 91.1 FM. You can join yours truly along with Matt Copsey, Pat Doherty, and Adam Demery. Our special guest coming up this week will be some of our local high school coaches, so we'd encourage you to stick around as we'll talk that. And we're also going to have that on our website with a new video presentation, Coach. I'm looking forward to having that out there. Also, our coverage being presented by our friends at Cardinal Bus, the official travel partner of Bethel College Pilots, 800-348-7487. We also want to thank our friends at Hacienda Mexican Restaurants. Come fiesta with the besta, chips, salsa chips. Which came first to your table tonight? There's always something special going on at Hacienda Mexican Restaurant. Also, our coverage being presented in part by Mitros Orthopedics, a leader in hip and knee replacement and treatment of Michiana's athletes for over 25 years. Thanks to Dr. Mitros and all his support throughout the course of the years. And anchoring our coverage, our friends at the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. If you think you have what it takes, call 1-800-MARINES or log on to Marines.com. Earlier this evening, I spent some time with Mike Lightfoot, the Hall of Fame coach of the Bethel Pilots, and got his feedback on today's matchup. Welcome here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. The Bethel College Pilots entertain the Huntington University Foresters here in the Crossroads League matchup tonight. Mike Lightfoot joining us here on the pregame show. Mike, first of all, let's just kind of reflect on the ball game at Marion. Thought I saw a lot of really good things. I thought there were some things that, I'm sure you're concerned with, but I like the kids, especially after about 8 minutes of their competition level. I thought they really started to get into the flow of things. Just didn't get it all done down on the stretch. But I saw some positive things. You tell me how you see it now.
Yeah, you go back and you watch tape and you don't see very many just lack of effort plays. I think there were some things. I think if we had it to do over again, we would have been a little bit more focused on Garden Evans down the stretch. Mm-hmm. He took over the game. Sure. And we've had that, as I talked to our players after the game, that in our losses, we've had key guys that we know going in can take over a game, and they have. You look at Widener, you can look at Mahern in that situation. Yeah, you see what happened there. You saw Hogan do that here last week that really kind of took over, and we saw the same thing, with Evans. So our league is dotted with a lot of those type of guys, and so you have to understand who's on the floor and who you have to contain or stop, let somebody else beat you.
The guy that jumped off the page to me, though, I thought really played with a lot of passion and tenacity was Pat Edding on Saturday. I thought he played physical, in some cases almost downright ornery, but you need to have a guy in the post play like that.
Yeah, I was really happy with Pat's focus, and I think that he was able to play minutes without being the bugaboo of foul trouble. That's always been kind of his issue, that he'll get a couple fouls that are meaningless in the game, but he'll reach over somebody or go over the back or something. The next thing you know, he's sitting with us. So, I thought he had key plays. He posted up hard. It's something that we needed in that game. They gave us that opportunity to post up, and he took advantage of it.
Well, let's turn our attention to Huntington University, and let's talk about Pat's assignment tonight, because now he's going to have to deal with Shane Merriman. I'm assuming he's going to get the guy that they're going to have to deal with, the kid averaging 22 points and nearly 9 rebounds. That's a tough matchup. He's an athletic kid. You look at him warming up, he may not look very well. He doesn't not going to pass the eye test, but at the end of the night, he's a solid competitor.
He sure is. He can get a lot of things done for you, and the thing that they've been able to do now is add great pieces to the puzzle. With that, Short is by far one guy that he can really hurt you, and I think a lot of times people focus in on Merriman so much and they forget about Short and all the things that he can do. But then their point guard has come in from Columbia City. He's just done a great job. Hyman is really, really, really good freshman guard, and really is a kid that wants the ball in his hand. He's taking tough shots, and he doesn't turn it over. And when you add that combination, with the other kids, Wall, another freshman, has done a really good job, and then everybody else they got is back. So, they can throw bigs at you, and they can throw shooters at you, and that's why they're so successful. And have lost just a couple games, and the loss they had at Wesleyan or against Wesleyan home was just kind of a freakish thing. They should have been running the table right now.
You look at this, tempo is always a big key in all the Crossroads League games. It's another team really kind of pushing their will on another. I know the Pilots like to move the ball up and down the floor. In the game with Huntington University, they're averaging right around 79 points, about 64. I'm not sure that they want to slow it down as much as Marion did, but where do you see them in the tempo side of things?
Well, I think they look for their opportunities to run when they want and when they can, and then there's the time when they definitely want to get the ball in a half-court set, just because of Shane Merriman. Shane can get the ball down the block, and he's going to sometimes not be the first one down there. He might be the last one down when everybody's the first one to score. And so there are times when they want to slow things down and execute their half-court game. There are other times when if they get a breakout, they'll come down and fire a three, and they can do that, and they can shoot really well. It's a typical Huntington team that shoots the three extremely well. But it's a contrast. I think we would probably want to push it a little bit more than they do, just because we don't have a Shane Merriman.
Okay, let's turn our attention back to the Pilots. Obviously, Zach Miller's status, the last time we checked, he was going to the locker room at halftime of the St. Francis game, and we've not seen him. I haven't had a chance to even talk to him. I know you have. Just kind of give us an idea on what's Zach's status for tonight.
Well, that's really still a great question. We won't really know until we get out there and start seeing what he can do. He didn't make the trip at all. The doctors wouldn't let us take the trip to Marion this weekend, so the only thing he's been able to do is things on his own a little bit, and we'll get a better feel when he gets out there and shoots around. And he's been released. He passed for those people who don't know, he's passed the concussion test, which is huge, because he's not going to get released, and we're not going to take a risk on him. But still, with that, that's a little bit different than playing the college basketball game, and so it'll be interesting. It's good to see he's out there. I think we decided that let's see how he goes right away, and if he can play a little bit, we'll play him. If he can't, then we'll have to go back other ways, and you just have to deal with that. No one's feeling sorry for us, so we just got to step up, and other people have got to respond when he's not in there.
All right, give us an idea on the always important two last questions. On the defensive side of things, and then on the offensive side of things, what do the Bethel Pilots have to do to win this very important Crossroads League game?
We got to be really solid all across the board on the defensive end. I think one of the things that we've got to be able to do is know where their people are that can really hurt us. And we've got to be able to defend the post with Shane Merriman. Let's face it, it all starts with that. But I think the other thing is that they've got, people can penetrate. We don't want Heineman to go to the rim, and we don't want, Short to be able to spot up a lot and shoot the three. So that puts us in trying to guard about 6 guys out there, So we're going to have to scramble. But our defense has got to be really, really good. And, you look back in the Marion game, they shot 38% from the floor. So it was really good. We just didn't defend it down the stretch, and they shot a ton of free throws. So we've got to do a great job of playing great, solid defense. And offensively, I think the thing that we've got to continue to work on is make better reads, reading the defense better. I think that's the thing that we've talked about yesterday in practice. Taking care of the basketball, that's also a very important thing, and getting second chance points. We're a team now that's got to get a kind of a lunch pail mentality, where we gotta have to dig in there and get second and third opportunities by just scraping and keeping the ball alive and somehow finding another opportunity to get another bucket. So those are the things that I think we really need to work on tonight in order to be successful.
Mike Lightfoot and the Blue Collar Pilots will go to work tonight against the Foresters. A key Crossroads League matchup coming your way next, right here from Bethel College on Regional Radio Sports.
Did you know that the Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Ireland Road, and Gates of Granger. The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You get to the top, get hooked in, and then you look over the edge. I was like, no way am I jumping off this tower. I'm staying right here. I'm like, am I ever going to be good enough to be a Marine? When it was all said and done, watching the car guard raise the American flag, I thought, I am a United States Marine.
PFC Keith Polka knows you don't join the Marines, you become one. Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Connery
Every day.
along with
College
Gardner.
is not only hope for the rules well.
All right.
Paul Connery along with some advertisements.
Yes. Whatever. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes technical things just don't work. Brad, as long as it's not you up there, I guess we're in great shape. Once again, we're glad that you can join us here today. Huntington University taking on the Pilots. Pilots are looking to right the ship, a.k.a. off of the Robbie Lightfoot setting the scene. I love it. After losing their couple of games for the first time this season. Of course, the Foresters trying to really make it a 3-game situation. After losing 10 straight in the series, the Pilots have won 8 of the last 12, with 3 of those 4 losses coming by only 1 possession or in overtime, and all 4 coming away from home. The matchup today features 2 of the most prolific teams in the Crossroads League, with both teams ranking number 1 and 3 in scoring offense, number 1 and 2 in field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, assists, 3-point field pointers made, and number 2 and 3 in assist to turnover ratio. And of course, the Foresters coming off a important game against Goshen this past week, as I was kind of just perusing through some of the numbers for these 2 clubs. The one thing that jumped off the page with me, the Huntington University Foresters have not lost 2 straight at any point in time during the course of the season. Their losses so far are against Indiana Wesleyan, Ashford, Ohio, Cincinnati Christian, and that is it for the Foresters when it's all said and done. You're looking at the Pilots scenario. The Pilots, of course, in the midst of their 2-game sit. The last time that happened was back in 2012 and 2013, where the Pilots lost to St. Francis, Huntington, Iwu, and Grace from 2-12 to are 2-2 to 2-12 of 2013. I'll get that right before the night's over. So you look at that scenario. Pilots have been there and done that. This group should know how to respond in that type of situation. The questions I really have is, are they going to be responding? And once again, having the shooter back in the lineup today, a.k.a. Zach Miller, that will certainly present a dynamic that people have to change, because now people have to face guard him. That should open things up. What I think he creates just by being on the floor creates a whole nother defensive scenario that when he's not in the ballgame, Coach.
Absolutely. You have to honor him. It should open up driving lanes. It should open up the post play. You've got him spotting up for the kick out. And, answer your question, these guys know how to respond, and they know that worst case scenario, they're going to have to make a 3-game run in the tournament to get themselves to Branson, but they don't want to have to rely on that. They want to get themselves in the top 3 in the conference heading into the postseason and know that they've got that spot already secure.
Taking a look at the matchup between these two clubs by the numbers, Huntington comes in averaging 79.5 points a game, giving up 64. They're out-rebounding their opponents 35 to 28. They're averaging 12 turnovers per ball game to go along with their 6 steals, 18 assists, and 3.5 block shots per contest. The Foresters are shooting 73% at the charity stripe, 51% from the field, and 39% from beyond the arc. The Bethel Pilots are averaging 89.7 points a game, giving up 72. The Pilots are out-rebounding their opponents 37.6 to 32.4. In the turnover department, the Pilots are throwing it away at a 13.7 points or turnover per game clip, 17 assists, 8 steals, and 2 block shots per ball game. Pilots are shooting 44% from beyond the arc, which includes 151 made 3-point baskets. Pilots are shooting 52% from the field and 73% from the charity stripe. So the Pilots, when you take a look at the numbers, they may be in advantage. They're also, most importantly, 6-1 here at home. When we come back after the timeout, we'll break it down more. You are listening to Bethel College basketball on Regional Radio Sports.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
UFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Country, the coach, Mark Gardner. We're going to bring in the man of the hour, Matt Copsey, to break this one down. He's been writing at Bethel College basketball for years. Matthew, your thoughts on tonight's Foresters-Pilots matchup?
Well, I think tonight's a big game for the Pilots in the sense that they have to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the last couple games. This is something that this team hasn't been used to this year. They've had a lot of success. They haven't had to deal much with adversity, but tonight is a way for them to get this away from it, and I think it all starts with the guys like Ryan Benner, Matt Schaus, all these other guys. You know, you talk about Zach Miller and what he means to this club, but he's just one of 5 guys on the floor, and they need the other 4 guys and the guys that come off the bench to contribute.
Coach, you talk about this team when it shoots the ball well, it seems to really change the entire complexion of anything. And I know that, you could say that about any team, but this team, when they knock down the first couple shots from the perimeter, it seems to be like a disease, if you will, where it just spreads through the entire group. We saw that in the ball game against Grace, where they went on that 3-point shooting binge, where it just went from one guy to another, and then so on and so on and so on. So I think it's so important for Bethel to come out here in the early stages of the game and really set the tempo, and knocking down some early shots, I think, certainly would help their cause tonight.
Yeah, it's contagious. Shooting's contagious on a team like that, and so as you said, when teams knock down shots, they play better, they win, and winning cures everything. Matt wants us to get that bad taste out of our mouth, and the easiest way to do that is to come out and shoot well, play with confidence, and then walk out of here with a win, and everybody forgets about these last 2 losses.
When you look at the games a year ago, BC won 83-65 here at home, but lost at Huntington 61-59. So I'm sure that Ty Platt is probably thinking right about now, along with his coaches Jeremy Henney, Mark Green, and Jamie Hotchkiss. They're thinking, hey, listen, last year we were embarrassed here on this floor. We need to come out here and really kind of set the tone for what it's going to be. And really, they're in a situation right now where they can control their own destiny. And you have to be able to go into a game, a situation like that, and you have to feel good to be able to control your own destiny.
Absolutely. And, right now they're ranked 24th, but that'll take care of itself. If they just keep winning, they're going to keep climbing up that ladder. So take care of your business.
Let's take a look at Crossroads League basketball tonight. Taylor is on the road at Indiana Wesleyan. Mount Vernon of Nazarene will be at Goshen. St. Francis is at Spring Arbor. And then, of course, Huntington will be here at Bethel. Taking a look at the conference standings right now, Huntington is at 5-1 along with St. Francis. Huntington in the new rankings is out there 24th. St. Francis is 11th. In the number 2 spot, Marion at 4-1. They're ranked number 20 now. Indiana Wesleyan is in that 4th spot, if you will. Indiana Wesleyan at 4-2. They're ranked 13th. Spring Arbor at 4-2. They played very, very well. They've won 4 straight ball games, so that could be a formidable ball game tonight. Spring Arbor tonight taking on St. Francis. That could really muddy the water if Spring Arbor can win tonight at home. And, of course, the Pilots right in the middle of the pack at 3-3. Taylor at 2-4, followed by Goshen at 1-4, Grace at 1-5, and Mount Vernon at 0-6. So, Coach, if you look at the Crossroads League tonight, you've got to look at some of those games as for the leaders. They've got to be able to play well, and I think one that jumps on the page, and you mentioned it to me during our pregame production meeting, is Marion at Grace. That's a really, really important game. Grace is coming off their best game. Marion was able to win at home against Bethel, and that could certainly be a big game in the Crossroads League tonight.
Yeah, it's ironic how that works out. We go over there and beat the heck out of Grace, and then we turn around and start rooting for Grace. And so Grace beat St. Francis, which helped us. And now, tonight, we got to take care of our job, but at the same time, certainly hoping that Grace can go ahead and beat Marion. And so you're at that point in the season where you start rooting for whoever's lower in the rankings. It doesn't matter what the name on the jersey is. It's whoever's lower in the rankings you want to win, and then you got to take care of your own business.
Huntington in search of their 791st win in the program's history. Against 704 losses since 1955 as the coaches come out here on the floor right now for their final shoot-around. And we're going to take our final timeout and come back and present to you a battle of ranked teams in the Crossroads League. We'll be right back after this on Regional Radio Sports.
From small towns and big cities, but they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine. They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities, but they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World, Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you're interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by our family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
All right, don't forget to join us. A slew of high school and college games on Regional Radio Sports coming at you this week. Check it out at www.rrsn.com. We'll be on the road with the Lady Pilots tomorrow as they take on Huntington University over at the Maryland Athletic Complex. Join us tomorrow. Adam Demery will be with me tomorrow for that broadcast, so check that out on www.rsn.com and bethelcollege.edu. Of course, on Friday, a slew of great high school games. Coach and I will be over at the Riley Gymnasium. The pride of the South Side will entertain Landon Booker's alma mater, the John Adams Eagles. And then, of course, we'll be with you on Saturday. Double dip! So we're heading to Ohio to take on, the Pilots are taking on Mount Vernon of Nazarene in a twin bill. Let's go on down to Brian Miller for our announcements.
Bethel College welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to tonight's contest. As a member of the NAI in the Crossroads League, we are committed to the true spirit of competition as champions of character, embracing 5 core values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask each of you as a participant, an official, or as a spectator to abide by these values by creating a positive environment in which our athletes may participate, our officials may work, and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Fans, please enjoy tonight's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps as Bethel College freshman Richie Nagy leads us in tonight's opening prayer.
Dear Lord, I just want to pray that we just have a good time tonight, Lord, and that just each team play their best and we just have a good game and we just enjoy tonight, and just hopefully everybody just has great stuff to say about tonight and we just remember it. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve and protect our great country with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by the Jesse Morrow Trio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Spectacular job. Once again, the talent here at this
Fans, the Jesse Morrow Trio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel College. This is the Y-Camp Center. Thank you for attending tonight's men's basketball Crossroads League matchup between the visitors, the Foresters of Huntington University, and the home team, your Bethel College Pilots. Fans, tonight's official game sponsor is Little Caesars Pizza, home of the $5 hot and ready pizza. Let's meet the starting lineups. Brought to you by Martin's Supermarkets. You can count on Martin's for service and savings. First for the visitors from Huntington U. At one guard, a 6'3" freshman from Columbia City, Indiana, wearing number 2, Derek Heinen. At another guard, a 6' junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 10, Tyler Alt. Starting at a forward, a 6'5 senior from Antwerp, Ohio, number 32, TJ Short. At center, a 6'10 junior from Carmel, Indiana, number 33, Alec Peterson. And in forward, 6'5 senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 55, Shane Merriman. Head coach of the Foresters is Ty Platt.
Now we'll go to the video here on the big screen.
Here now is the starting lineup for your Bethel College Pilots. And one guard at 5'10", sophomore from Peru, Indiana, number 5, Travis Smith. And another guard, a 6'4" junior from Green Fork, Indiana, number 20, Matt Schultz. And another guard, he's back, a 6'1" junior from Huntington, Indiana, number 2, Zach Miller. Also at guard for your Pilots, a 6'4" senior from Mishawaka, Indiana, number 34, Ryan Benner. And the man in the middle for your Pilots, a 6'6" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 41, Patrick Eddings. Bethel coaches are Tony Natale, Ryan Lightfoot, and head coach of the Pilots in his 27th season, a 1978 BC graduate, is Mike Lightfoot.
There you have the particulars. Our officials in today's game, Matt Copsey, knock him down.
Michael Fox, Tyler Kump, and Matthew Hans.
The Huntington University of Foresters decked out in the hunter green shorts and jerseys with the black and white trim. Huntington written in white, trimmed in black. On the green jerseys, numbers likewise white, trimmed in black. Bethel on the home white jerseys and shorts with the blue numbers trimmed in gray. Bethel written in blue on the front, trimmed in gray. Pilots Pat Edding to jumping up with Alec Peterson, the 6'10" junior from Carmel, against the big one from Fort Wayne. We are underway, and Bethel has the ball. Over here to Travis Smith on the right wing. So Bethel to move from left to right on your screen. Thanks for joining us here on Regional Radio Sports. Foresters will move from right to left. Matt Schaus out here in between the rings. Right side now to Zach Miller. Miller looking for some help. Here's a foul away from the ball on Shane Merriman as Travis Smith tried to set a screen and Merriman just shoved him.
And imagine that we have fans yelling, he flopped, because Travis's reputation now. But that's a great screen by Travis, and Merriman just extended his arms and pushed through it.
So Travis Smith hands it back out to Matt Schaus. Schaus on the far wing, looks for some help. Goes right side on the wing now to Travis Smith. Travis on the dribble, to the top now to Ryan Benner. Benner on the dribble, drives down the left side of the lane. Shot blocked away by Peterson, but into the hands of Zach Miller. Back to Matt Schaus here on the near side wing. Just underway, no score. Schaus at the top, looking for some help. Loads up the 19-footer, shot no good. A rebound, deflects around, and the ball is handled off the ground by Alec Peterson of Huntington. Here come the Pilots setting the tone with the press already.
Look for the Pilots at full court.
Here's a drive inside by Marion, missing the shot. Left block, rebound, Pat Edding. Schaus inside now to Benner. Benner backing in, spins, shot on the way, good. Pilots lead it 2-0.
Great use of the body there by Ryan Benner. Two keys. They're going to want to attack attack Peterson off the dribble like Benner did in the first possession, they're going to want to pick up the tempo and press full court the whole game.
Here's Tyler Alt going to the right side now here to Derek Heinen. Heinen swings it over here to the left side now to TJ Short. Short at the top of the circle, trying to hedge off a screen to the low post inside to Merriman. Merriman back out here to Short. He'll load up the three-point shot and knock it down. And then he comes running his trap back the other way. 3-2. Little talk. Here's Edding to the goal and he scores. He sets up a lot of people.
Short would be better served getting his butt back on defense instead of talking trash after knocking down a three-pointer.
With the basketball here, Alton in the backcourt. Over to timeline now. In between the circles now. Looking for some help. Goes to Heinen. Heinen dribbles to the right corner. He hands it off and the ball's deflected around. Short tracks it down. Top of the circle now here to Short. Short around the back pass. And you can talk all the trash you want, but when you don't go back on defense or you throw passes around the back where there's nobody there, I guess that kind of sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we'll give him credit. He knocked down a tough three-pointer with two hands in his face. That's a great shot, but don't run your mouth. Just play the game. Let your game speak for yourself, and then you come throw a behind-the-back pass to Coach Lightfoot, who was open. Not going to sit well with Coach Platt.
With the basketball now here is Matt Schaus. I've always said, Coach, and it's something that I always loved about the Penn football program, is if you're going to celebrate, you celebrate it quietly and with your friends and pretend like you've done it before. Here's Benner with a shot deflected out here to Schaus. Schaus here at the top of the ring now drives down the lane and he's hit the floor. And then the call is
over the back on Pat Edding.
And it will be Pilots a 4-3 leader here at the 17:38 mark.
Another quick substitution. Drew Benedict checking in. Alt head to the bench.
Both teams with one personal foul, respectively. Merriman and Edding, the two big men.
Like the way the Pilots are attacking the basket, even though they haven't finished.
Heinen with the basketball here on the left elbow, now on the near wing. Had it slapped away, and it goes out of bounds off of Travis.
Going to look for Coach Platt trying to isolate Shane Merriman down the post, get that second foul on Pat Edding if they can.
Drew Benedict to inbound the basketball. Goes now here to Heinen. He drives down the lane, running one-hander in the lane, and he scores. 5-4. Favor of the Foresters here at the 17:21 mark. Here's a three-point shot from the near wing by Miller. Over good rebound, deflected around. Pat Edding tracks it down. Nope, and he goes off of him out of bounds.
Shocking that Ty Platt's asking for a foul call early in the game. It's unheard of.
From right to left, here come the Foresters, a 5-4 leader early on in the ballgame now. Derek Heinen on the slow dribble over the timeline now, guarded by Travis Smith. Dribbles down the right side of the lane, jump pass in the corner now to Benedict. Benedict loads up a three-shot, foul over the back that time on...
they're going to call that on Pat Edding.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a big play. Instead of being two on Merriman, that's two on Pat Edding.
And Ryan Wastink immediately, so Pat goes to the bench at the 17-minute mark with two fouls.
I think you're going to see a very animated Coach Lightfoot tonight. Just sending the message to his players that things aren't going well, but he still believes in them, and he's going to give everything he has out there.
To inbound the basketball out here on the perimeter. Now here's Drew Benedict. Off the pass from Short. Short goes inside of the low post. Substitution now Daniel Wall, another Columbia City product, inside, and he scores on a nice little drive in the lane. 7-4 Foresters. Schaus with the ball at the top, swings it to Blaine Booker on the far wing, who just checked in. Book here at the top now. Drives down the lane on the right-hand side, and he scores. Blaine Booker's on the board. Now it's 7-6 in favor of the Foresters.
And we've seen that the last couple games, Book's been able to get to the basket. He just hasn't finished, so it's good to see him finish that one.
With the basketball, Derek Heinen on the right wing, lost the handle on it, and then Wastink stole it back, and then there's a foul called on Ryan Wastink on the floor.
That's just a tough break there for Ryan. Good hands by Book. Ryan's got to be able to grab that ball and go with it.
And to inbound the basketball to the left of the lane will be Antwerp, Ohio product TJ Short.
3 team fouls now on the Pilots early on.
He passes out here to Merriman in between the rings, swinging to the left side now to Drew Benedict. Benedict waiting for a cutter, comes back out here to the right side, now here to Daniel Wall. Wall hands it off now to Heinen on the far wing. Heinen on the dribble, spins inside the lane, running one-hander, missed it, rebound tipped up and around, and somehow, somewhere, Heinen comes away with it. Back out here to the top now to Benedict, and he buries the three-point bomb. 10-6 in favor of the Foresters, 15:58 to go.
Schaus talk about offensive rebounding being a key, Paul. They got to keep him off the glass.
Here's Booker, far wing, looking for some help, comes back to Benner at the top of the circle. Back to Booker on the far wing, and Landon exchanges out there. Now he'll come to the top. Landon on the drive down the right side of the lane, and a foul called on Drew Benedict. And a timeout on the floor. Media timeout coming our way here at the 15:42 mark. We'll be right back after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out the new Gates of Granger on State Road 23 in Granger. The Gates of Granger is a full-service shop for all brands and models. With their state-of-the-art base paint and body shop, you can't go wrong when it's time for all of your detailing work. At the Gates of Granger, you can also see and buy the top 10 models of pre-owned cars, pickups, SUVs, and vans. The Gates Automotive Group celebrating 85 years of integrity.
The Benedict three-point basket, his 31st of the season, has catapulted the visitors to a 10-6 lead here at the media timeout at 15:42 to go. Bethel to inbound the basketball. Matt Schaus to trigger the ball. He's got Miller, Wasink, Booker, and Benner on the floor with him. Matt Schaus looking, comes out here on the perimeter now to Wasink, back to Ryan Benner on the right wing. Benner goes here to the right side now to Booker, and Booker dribbles to the point. Landon on the dribble, hands it off to Miller. Miller loads up the three-point shot, knocks it down. Welcome back, shooter. 10-9, Zach Miller, and for Zach, his 74th three-point basket of the campaign.
And that's just easy. It changes everything offensively for the Pilots.
With a basketball here near wing now, hits Tyler out. He loads up the triple and knocks it down. Forster's with 3 3-point baskets already.
Got to find shooters, got to contest shooters.
Landon Booker with the ball, drives down the right side of the lane. Shot on the way, no good. But a foul called. Whistle that one on Derek Heinen.
Going to be Heinen's first, I believe, the team's fourth.
So Book will go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws. Landon on the season. Let's take a look at his season. Averaging 6.7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a turnover per ball game. He is shooting 76% at the line, and he will shoot it with the right hand and knock it down. 13-10. Book with 3 points in the ball game now.
I never want to become an official, Paul, because Coach Platt's here questioning Tyler about the call that Matt made at the other end, and Tyler's looking at him going, I don't know what you're talking about, Coach. I didn't make that call.
And Booker with one more opportunity. Second free throw, no good. A rebound tracked down by Ryan Baster, who just checked into the ballgame. So 1 of 2 for Landon.
Seeing a lot of substitutions here early for Huntington. Quick subs.
Benedict inside of the post out of Merriman. Merriman spinning on Wasink, and a foul called on Ryan Wasink in the low post. And Michael Mislin jumps up off the bench like he's sitting on a spring, and Wasink is headed to the bench as Wasink picks up his second infraction, and that comes at the 14:52 mark. And Miz will be in, and it'll be up to Miz to keep Merriman in check. Here's a jump shot from the near corner. It's an air ball at time by T.J. Short. Here's Ryan Benner running the floor off the pass from Matt Schaus, and he scores. 13-12, Pilots. 1-point trailer now.
Yeah, we talked in the pregame, Paul, about the importance of running the floor. They don't do a very good job. Huntington doesn't do a very good job of getting back on defense. They're crashing the offensive glass.
Ryan Baster comes out here to the top now to Daniel Wall. Back in the near corner, Benedict. Inside of the low post to Merriman. Merriman lowering the shoulder. Bounce pass to a cutter. Nice job moving off the ball. Daniel Wall scores. 15-12 in favor of the Foresters.
Benner came over to double team. The guard did not drop down to help on Benner's guy.
Here's Zach Miller with the ball, top of the circle, loads up the three-point shot, knocks it down, and he is fouled.
Give me 2 fouls on Benedict, and Zach did what he does often. He stuck his foot out and drew contact. Probably not a very good call. The Pilots will take it, though.
Miller knocks down his second three-point basket, and now he'll have an opportunity to complete a rare 4-point play opportunity and give BC a lead only for the second time tonight.
He just does such a good job of creating space and then using his body to draw contact.
16-15, 4-point play. Zach Miller. Miller with 7. Over the timeline now, Ryan Baster goes right side now to Short, back to the top of the ring now to Tyler Alt. On the left wing, wrap around to the low post to Merriman. Merriman driving, Jump pass out here to the top now to Wall. Wall travels. No call. Comes back out to the point. Now they go right wing now to Alt. 3-point shot by Merriman is no good. A rebound over the back called.
They're going to call that one on Gerber. Pilots have inside position. They're just not boxing out. Huntington's out working for the ball, so the Pilots are getting called. That's 2 pushes now. Great defense possession, great rotation, and then you give it right back to him off of the missed shot.
And that'll be the 5th foul on the Pilots. 4 for the green from Huntington. With the ball near wing now, Tyler Alt, the 6-foot junior from Carroll High School. Comes back to Merriman. He loads up the 3 and knocks down the triple. 18-16 in favor of the Foresters at the 13:33 mark. Here's Zach Miller at the top of the ring now. Drives down the lane. Shot off the rim. No tip, no good. Rebound. Mislin is hit on the arm that time by, I believe, Daniel Wall. I was screened out of the play.
I believe that's correct. Give me foul on 45. Wall. Yep. Good rebound by Miz. He's got to go up strong and go through that block shot there.
That'll be the first foul whistled on Daniel Wall, the 6'6 freshman from Columbia City. Huntington with a fine group of freshman kids coming in this year. Miz is knocking down the free toss to get Bethel within 1 at 18-17 at the 13:24 mark.
Huntington with 4 3-point shots already tonight.
Mike Lightfoot's going to take a timeout, a rare first half timeout for Mike Lightfoot. Your thoughts on this, Coach?
I think there's just a different mentality. I think being at practice yesterday and observing some things going on that Coach wants to make sure that he stays on top of things. Momentum doesn't go anyway. The guys know what needs to be done. And so I don't know if it's because of the 4 3-pointers, or there's something defensively they want to switch up, that they came into with a different game plan and now they're going to change, or what the case is. But Huntington's come out and played well. The Pilots are still hanging with them. I don't think the Pilots have played a real good first 6.5 minutes. And so, not sure what he's saying, but I know that he's more animated tonight and more... Just seems like he wants to keep his thumb on top of things. I think at St. Francis, some people really accuse the Pilots players and coaches of not adjusting and letting it get away too quickly. And so we'll see what they come out with. Maybe it's a full court trap. Maybe it's a half court zone. We'll see what comes out of this free throw attempt.
And Michael Mislin will have one more free throw, but you get into the old mindset of, here he's made a free throw. Here's a guy who at the line has struggled at 56%. He's made the first, but now he's going to think about the second one, or is he not? Maybe he'll come out and knock it down, and we'll all look real smart like that.
That's what Coach just told him. Hey, make sure you make the next one. That's what he told him.
It's an 18-18 ball game as Mike makes a pair of free throws.
Oh, Travis just missed a steal opportunity there on that full court trap.
Here's Heinen with the basketball. Through the leg dribble out here. Across the timeline into the forecourt. Double teamed out here. Hands it off to Benedict. Benedict fakes the pass. Now hands off to Heinen. Heinen on the right wing now. The voice that you can hear in front of us is Ty Platt. With a drive, here's Ryan Baster. Left baseline cut off. Comes back out to Benedict. He loads up the 19-footer and knocks it down. 20-18 in favor of the Foresters here at the 12:55 mark. Here is Travis Smith heading off now to Zach Miller. Wide open 3-point shot on the way. No, save 2. Tie ball game, 20-20.
Probably Ty Platt's asking for a moving screen on Travis Smith, and he's got a good complaint there. Travis didn't set himself and spun into the defender there to open up Zach Miller.
Baster with the ball here. Swings it left side here on the near wing to Daniel Wall. Wall drives in, double team, and Schaus knocked it out of bounds.
Oh, no. They're going to call that off Schaus. Looks like Wall hit it last. I'll tell you, impressive Drew Benedict, as well as guys that getting off the bus doesn't pass the eye test, but knocking down shots out there for this Huntington team.
So Baster to inbound the basketball to the left of the lane. Goes into the deep left corner now. Here to Heinen. Heinen steps out. Now drives baseline, cut off nicely that time by Brandon Gerber. Now he'll dribble all the way to the right wing where he hands it off to Benedict. And he loads up the triple shot, no good. A rebound, laid up, no good. That time on the offering by Daniel Wall. And then a foul called on who?
They're going to call Gerber for undercutting again, I believe.
And that's exactly what they're going to call. So Gerber picks up his second foul.
And they're going to call a shooting foul, which I thought it was on a rebound opportunity. I'm not sure that it was a shooting foul.
So the Pilots will have to make some adjustments at the way the game is being called at, and that's the bottom line. And what is the call here, Coach?
I don't think anybody knows what's going on. Coach Platt doesn't know. I'm not sure the officials know.
What's going on?
The Pilots are over there.
Okay, listen, come here.
They got blood on the floor. That's the issue right there.
But I didn't know what the piss is going on.
If you hear Ty Platt to our immediate right says, I don't know what the heck is going on. Well, And as always, one of the most talented people in the Bethel athletic family out there on the floor, and Sarah Hauk does a great job there. Caleb Ochin, I believe, just checked into the contest. So Bethel will have on the floor Michael Mislin, Caleb Ochin, Ryan Benner, Brandon Gerber, and Travis Smith. And a pair of Foresters getting ready to check in at the next dead ball. And Daniel Wall will try to take care of business here. It's a 20-20 ball game. 12-14 to go, first half. So Huntington in the bonus from here on out after the next one.
And lost in all that, Brandon Gerber did pick up a second foul, which you may have said, Paul, before we had the confusion. So, Gerber with 2, Edding with 2. You got Benedict on the floor. Well, Benedict just checked out for Huntington with 2 fouls.
And the right-hander's free throw on the way good again. So Huntington on top, 22-20 here at the 12-14 mark. Very close ball game here in the early going. Pilots necessarily haven't played as well as we've seen them. But I think Huntington has played lights out. That's just my opinion. Here's Ochin at the ball at the top of the ring. Goes left side out of Smith. Smith around the screen. Stops, reverses it. Goes back out to Ochin at the top. Caleb dribbles to the left wing. Squares up, backs it out, goes into the low post to Gerber. Gerber spins inside the lane, shoots, missed it, rebound. Gerber tips it around, but finally into the hands that time of Alec Peterson of Huntington University. Up court quickly, here come the Foresters. Here's Tyler Alt on the far wing now. Looking, goes back out to the top now to Merriman. Merriman on the drive, he fakes, shoots, scores.
Too easy.
24-20, Huntington up 4 now here at the 11:35 mark.
Too easy. Just took Miz right to the rack and got what he wanted.
Mislin backing in on Peterson. Fakes, shoots, and blocked away from behind.
Yeah. Previous possession, I love the move by Gerber. He's got to finish. Great job of attacking the basket there. Miz, he looked a little hesitant, wasn't sure what he was going to do. And Peterson picking up his second block shot of the night.
And to inbound the basketball will be Caleb Ochin. And Michael Mislin is going to the bench.
Bleeding on his bicep there.
So
it's Peterson's elbow that's bleeding. Miz just got some wiped on him there. It's Peterson who's bleeding there.
Our coverage tonight being brought to you in part by the Gates Automotive Group.
The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group is a family-owned and operated business and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
And they're going to continue to try to sort things out. I would think that if you're a trainer, you would have your gloves ready to go and on, but they're still waiting for him to take care of that business at hand. And I understand the dynamics involved. 24-20, our score here in favor of the visitors from Huntington County and Huntington University. 11:26 to go in the half. Bethel has Gerber along with Ochin, Mislin, Smith, and Benner on the floor as Ochin is to trigger the inbounds to the left of the lane. And
they didn't cover up the cut there, which I don't get that.
It doesn't make any sense. How about put a Band-Aid on it? Whatever. And Ochin inbounds the basketball. Back over here to Smith, back to Ochin. Caleb on the far wing, still on the dribble. Looks for some help. Trying to look through a screen here at the top. Now goes back to Travis on the far wing. Travis looking for a dribble, on the step out, still on the dribble. Hands it off to Ochin. Wide open 18-footer. Ochin is good. Pilots cut the lead to 2. 24-20 as Caleb Ochin is on the score sheet at the first time, and that comes at the 11:04 mark.
It's always nice to see Caleb at his first shot. I like to see the Pilots isolate Benner on Baster down there in the low post next possession.
Here's Baster one-on-one with Benner as they come across the 10-second line. Baster goes right side of the pass now to Tyler Alt. Alt goes into the high post now to Peterson. His right-handed hook shot from the right block is banked up and in. 26-22 in favor of the Foresters. Back the other way. Ryan Benner shot no good. Rebound. Tipped up and a foul inside as Brandon Gerber get a nice shot of hitting the glass hard at the 10:36 mark.
It's a great job by Benner to run the floor and spot up. Missed the open 3 there, but a good job by Gerber to foul that. We've seen it here early on. The Pilots can beat the Foresters down the floor. Just got to finish.
Brandon Gerber to the charity stripe. Brandon on the season, 63% free throw shooter. Averages 1.5 assists, nearly 4 rebounds per ball game, and 2.4. And he corrals the free throw. And it's now a 26-23 ball game in favor of the Foresters. 10:36 to go, first half.
Drew Benedict checking back in with 2 fouls. I'd like to see the Pilots try and attack him and get that third foul on him here in the first half.
The southpaw Gerber knocks down a pair of free throws. Now the Pilots have cut the lead by Huntington to 2 at 26-24. Zach Miller checks back into the contest for the Pilots. A three-guard lineup. And to inbound the basketball will be T.J. Short. The ball's deflected out of bounds by Travis. And to inbound the basketball to the left of the lane to go the length to the floor now will be T.J. Short. Short goes here into the backcourt now to Heinen. Now here to the left side. Heinen in between the rings now. Looking for some help. Goes to the right elbow to Merriman. Back inside to Heinen and he drives and scores. 28-24.
It's a nice little move by Heinen there, attacking the basket. Poaching from the top of the key.
3-point shot, no good. Rebound hits hard to the floor, and a T.J. Short corrals it. Here's Derek Heinen, the Columbia City product over the timeline now. Had it knocked away, and I thought Heinen touched it before.
Good hands there by Travis. Good defensive pressure.
Landon Booker's coming to the ballgame now, and Travis Smith will exit stage left. So it's Booker, Miller, Ochin, Benner, and Mislin on the floor for BC. Ball in the hands of T.J. Short out here on the top. Forrester's a 4-point lead. Here's Merriman on the double down. Booker knocked it away. Nice job by Landon. He got in there just in time because Merriman had a layup.
Yeah, Merriman beat Mislin to the spot, had a layup. I don't know if Miz got screened or not. I didn't see that, but it looked like Merriman had a wide open lane there before Book tipped that away.
Here's T.J. Short inside now to Merriman. Merriman driving baseline, gave up the dribble. Here's a shot blocked away from behind by Benner, but Merriman scores on the follow. 30-24.
It's about 5 offensive rebounds right now for the Huntington Foresters.
All right, now Ochin, right side now to Zach Miller. Miller inside of the low post now to Benner. Benner backing in on Short, and he had it knocked out of his hands out of bounds.
Good defense there by Short.
I think the Foresters right now a little bit more hungry than the Pilots, Coach.
Yeah, and Coach, in the scouting report, talked about keeping them off the glass. We've talked that that's the reason the Pilots can leak out and get some fast breaks is because they crash the glass, but the Pilots are not keeping them off the glass.
Schaus goes right side now to Miller. Miller on the dribble, loads up the 3-point shot, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Shane Merriman from Huntington. Now to Short. Short over the timeline now here to Alt. Alt on the near wing, puts on the brakes. Now he hands off to Heinen. Back to Merriman, wrap around to the high post to Short. Short backing in, shot knocked away by Zach Miller. For Zach Miller, that's his 4th block of the season. Booker to the goal. Shot tipped up, no good. Rebound. Booker comes in and couldn't knock it down. Miz with a tip, no good. Miz trying to get it, and comes away with it. Miz drives, shoots, had it blocked away by Peterson. Pilots once again, too many opportunities, and they can't finish. And here's Booker with a foul.
Missed layups for the Pilots, and then Peterson just blocking shots away.
8:59 to go in the first half. Huntington, a 6-point lead. This will be their biggest.
This will tell you how frustrated Coach is with the big man. Keith Cochran checking in with 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Wow. All I have to say is wow.
And Coach and Michael Mislin having a heart-to-heart down there.
To the charity stripe, Derek Heinen, 71% free throw shooter, averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds a game. Right-hander from Columbus City on 1 and bonus, misses. Here's a drive by Schaus inside the lane, had it knocked away out of bounds. It'll be BC basketball.
Yeah, I like the way the Pilots are attacking the basket, but Alec Peterson's shown that you're not going to do anything once you get in there, so they've got to settle for that little pull-up jumper.
Schaus goes out here to Miller on the far wing, now into the far block now to Ryan Benner. Benner backing in, and he had it stripped away from behind that time. And a foul whistled on Huntington.
Going to be 2 now on Daniel Wall.
Wall, the 6'6 freshman. So the Pilots go 1 in bonus here now for the rest of the way at the 8:47 mark. As Benner goes to the line, and he missed the free throw. Well, that was a shooting foul nonetheless. Yeah. I tell you what, the Pilots free throw shooting, I know they're shooting at 73%, but there's some inopportune misses in the game on the last 2 games, as a matter of fact.
We've talked about that for the past couple of years.
1 of 2 now for Brian Benner.
41D.
And it's a 30-25 ball game. Favor of the Foresters. Heinen goes left side now here to T.J. Short. Short fouls to Heinen into the corner. He drives, kick out of the corner to Benedict. Benedict's 3 shot, no good. Caroms into the hands of Schaus over the timeline now. With a drive down the right side of the lane, a shot, a score, and a foul. Matty South in the score sheet now, giving Bethel within 2 or 3, check that.
Foul on TJ Short. It's going to be his first. Good job on Matt. Hesitation dribble, getting to the basket, using his body to shield Short off there, getting it off the glass.
So Schaus with an opportunity with the old-fashioned 3-point play, knocks it down. 2-point ball game now as the Pilots at the 8:28 mark. Really, that's 4 unanswered after there was a 6-point lead. Tell you what, if Heiner knocks down the 1 in bonus, it could have been an 8-point lead now. Here's Heinen on the near wing, drives, stops and travel, goes to the right side now here to Wall. Wall had it stripped away, and finally over here on the near side is Short. Short throws it into the stands with the Wycamp Blackos.
After hitting that tough 3-pointer up in the game, he's had a really tough first half between turnovers and just poor decisions. Coach has stayed with him. He's been out there the entire first half, I think, but he hit that first shot and was feeling really good about himself, and he's really struggling right now. Big possession here for the Pilots.
Wall and Benedict to the bench. Merriman back on the floor now, along with Alt. Schaus right side now to Miller. Miller on the drive, and there's a hand check. That time by Tyler Alt. That'll send Zach to the charity stripe.
And Zach's got to do a better job of that. If the team's going to take away that 3-point shot, put it on the floor, attack the basket.
And I want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Timeout on the floor.
Did you know the Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World, Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
Matt, was that who called the timeout there? Is that a media timeout? Where's Matt's mic? Mike, yeah.
Matt's talking and we're not hearing him. Try that again, Matt.
Let's try this
plug
again.
That in.
Let's try this in. I unplugged the.
That's okay.
The crowd mic.
That's okay.
Jeez.
Have you been talking to us the whole first half?
I've been trying to talk to you guys.
Sorry, Matt. My apologies.
I'll just use sign language from now on. That's why I've been putting my fingers out like this.
Okay, my apologies, buddy. 30-28. So your point was that is the media timeout.
Yes, that was the media timeout because we're at the 7:59 mark.
Okay.
Welcome to the broadcast, Matt.
Jeez, what a knucklehead. That's the second fumble by PRC on the evening.
That's all right.
More and I'm out of here. Hey. On the floor will be Booker, Benner, Schaus, Miller, and Keith Cochran. I like the new hairdo by Matt Schaus. Looks very, very Marine-like.
It's business time. You know, similar to the St. Francis game here, Paul, if Zach knocks these down, if you're sitting on the Bethel bench, you say, we haven't played a real good first half, but it's a 30-30 ball game, and so hopefully you stay a little more focused. Never mind.
Zach misses 1 in bonus.
Gotta have free throws, fellas.
Over the timeline now, Derek Heinen, guarded by Booker. In between the rings now. Had it slipped away, and should have been a foul on Miller, no call. Here's a drive by Merriman. He scores inside, and then the basket counts.
Yeah, Keith just leaning on him, not getting his hands up.
7:44 to go. So the question is, how long will Mike Lightfoot go with Keith Cochran? I realize that he's got, Pat Edding has been on the bench since the 17-minute mark. Wasink has been on the bench since the 14:52 mark. Mislin and Brandon Gerbers with 2 fouls. Yeah. Mislin with 2 fouls. Merriman's free throw was good to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. And it's now a 33-28 Forrester lead.
And Merriman now with 10.
Schaus on the dribble, stops. Bounce pass inside to Cochran. Cochran turns, shot, airballs that one. Peterson got a handle on it.
And that's not why Keith's in the game.
Heinen handed it off now to Merriman. Right side now to Alt. Alt loads up the triple and knocks it down. Bethel needs a timeout. 36-28 in favor of the Foresters. 7:19 to go.
Keith's out there to be a big body and play defense, not shoot turnaround jump shots.
Here is Ryan Benner with a spin inside, backing in. Up and under, fades, shoots and scores. That's a huge basket by Ryan Benner.
Senior leadership right there.
7:04 to go. Mike trying to weather the storm here. His club a 6-point trailer. Mislin getting ready to check in. Here's Heinen with a drive inside. And this Heinen kid's he's going to be a tough as-nosed player, man. He's 6'3", 175, a freshman.
2 fouls now on Book, and I like this Derek Heinen. He does a good job attacking the basket and taking care of the ball.
Mislin and Travis Smith come back into the lineup for Bethel as Booker And Cochran headed the Pines. And to the line now, Tarek Heinen. Heinen on the season, a 71% free throw shooter. And at the 6:56 mark, he misses one in bonus. That's the second one for him. With a basketball, jump shot from the far side, no good. A rebound hauled out of there by the Foresters.
Good look from Matt Schaus.
Got to knock him down.
Absolutely, that's a good pull-up jumper.
Short on the right wing now, wrap around to the low post, stolen by Ryan Benner.
Attack.
Benner up court quickly now to Schaus. Schaus on the dribble. Spins inside the lane, shot tipped up and in by Mislin. It's good.
Good screen roll by Michael Mislin, then foul that, put that in.
6:23 to go in the first half. Pilots a 4-point trailer.
And we've seen Peterson's going over to try and alter every shot, so wherever he's guarding needs to crash the glass.
30-second timeout, Huntington University. We want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you're interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by our family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
Matt, walk us through some of the numbers since the microphone had failed to operate because of operator error.
We've got 9 points for Zach Miller, 7 points for Ryan Benner, 4 points for Michael Mislin, 3 points each for Booker and Schaus, 4 points for Michael Mislin. For Huntington, you've got 10 points for Merriman, 6 points for Alt, 5 points for Drew Benedict, 6 points for Daniel Wolf.
To inbound the basketball in front of the Wycamp Wackos will be freshman Daniel Wall. Goes in the backcourt here now to Heinen, and Heinen comes over the timeline on the left-hand dribble, goes to the right elbow now to another freshman, Wall. Back here to the left side now to Benedict. Another freshman on the floor, inside of the low post to the senior Merriman. Merriman backing in on Benner. Shot on the way, no good, but a foul called as Ryan Benner picks up a foul as Merriman just had his way inside.
Called Zach Miller for the reach in there.
That's a break.
Zach's first.
So Merriman will go to the line. 79.4%. He has averaging 2 assists a game, nearly 9 rebounds, and 22 points. Big number 55, the product of Carroll High School. Deep knee bend, the free throw on the way, good. 37-32, Foresters. I think the Pilots have got to get some things going offensively. Because defensively, they've made some plays, but they just got to.
And he got about 10 points off offensive rebounds that have hurt him.
Yep. Both free throws are good, 38-32. Merriman with a pair. Here's Miller at the top of the ring. Jump pass back to Matt Schaus. Matt on the drive. Swings it to the left side now to Travis Smith. Smith drives. Kick out now here to Zach Miller. Miller, free throw line. Miller still on the dribble. Driving. Shot inside, no, and Zach hits the floor hard. Now here to Heinen. Heinen streaks up the right sideline. Puts on the brakes. Guarded by Smith. Looks, scoops, goes down to the right corner now to Wall. Wall on the dribble, drives, cut off baseline that time by Schaus. Now to the right elbow, now to Peterson. Peterson travels, comes back here to Merriman. He loads up the triple, and he banks it up. You've got to be kidding me.
It's that kind of a night.
41-32, 5:13 to go. Biggest lead of the ballgame now for the Foresters. Here's Benner inside. Benner backing in on Merriman. They got slapped away from behind. Here comes Tyler Alt, handing it off to Heinen. There's a big opportunity here for the Pilots defensively.
That's a tough break. They're good defense by Merriman.
Here's Merriman with the basketball inside the low post. Shot on the way, no good. A rebound. Peterson stole it over Mislin.
Outworking him.
Back to Heinen. Heinen edges off the screen now, still on the dribble. Crossover dribble. A nice cut off that time by Zach Miller. Double team. Comes back out to Alt. He loads up the jump shot and knocks it down for 3. 44-32 in favor of the Foresters. Pilots already early in the midst of getting blown out of the gymnasium if they don't get their act together. Back-to-back three-point baskets by Huntington has propelled them to their biggest lead at 12 on the night.
Check out Bethel. Check out the new Gates of Granger on State Road 23 in Granger. The Gates of Granger is a full-service shop for all brands and models with their state-of-the-art base paint and body shop. You can't go wrong when it's time for all your detailing work. At the Gates of Granger, you can also see and buy the top 10 models of pre-owned cars, pickups, SUVs, and vans. Gates Automotive Group celebrating 85 years of integrity. Paul, you asked me in the pregame what were the keys to victory, and I had it written down. Contest shots, keep them off the glass, and run the floor. We haven't contested shots. We haven't kept them off the glass. Therefore, we can't run the floor.
Okay, on the floor will be Michael Mislin, Matt Schaus, Travis Smith, Ryan Benner, and Zach Miller. Huntington will come back and counter with Shane Merriman, Alec Peterson, Derek Heinen. In addition to that, they'll also throw out at the Pilots Tyler Alt. And on the far side, they'll have Daniel Wall.
7 3-point baskets for the...
Here's Zach Miller with the basketball. Nearly mugged out here on the near corner. Miller hedging off a screen, still on the dribble. Goes out to Matt Schaus. Back to Zach. Zach thinks about the tray. Zach stops, pulls it out now. Goes out here to Matt Schaus on the near wing. Matt at the top of the circle now. Drives down the left side of the lane, and a foul call on Derek Heinen, I believe.
Yeah, going to be 2 on Heinen, I believe. Pilots have got to do a better job of being ready to shoot the open shot. I thought Zach passed on one, and I thought Matt passed on one. You've got to attack the basket under control.
Heinen picks up his second foul at the 4:04 mark. And
well, last year at Marion, Pilots were down by 11 with a minute to go. Is that correct? And they came back to win, right?
Right.
So 12 points down with 24 minutes to go. We shouldn't be panicking.
Schaus with the free throw, good. 44-33.
Plenty of basketball. We saw it at the St. Francis game. The Pilots were up 11 and got run out of the gym in the second half at Grace. The Pilots were only up 5 and ran Grace out of the gym. So they just need to stay focused, win each possession.
Matt Schaus, second free throw, good again. Now it's a 44-34 ball game. Here comes the full court Bethel pressure. Ryan Batester with the basketball. Puts on the brakes here in the backcourt. Goes the right side now here to Alt. Down to the far corner now to Wall. Wall looking for some help. Foul line extended right to the far wing. Wall dribbles to the top. Wrap around to the low post through the 5-hole that time of Shane Merriman.
Yeah.
And that will be Bethel basketball.
4 turnovers now for Huntington. One possession at a time. Chip away at it.
Ryan Wassink's in the contest now for Bethel. He'll be playing with a pair of fouls. Key juncture of the ball game for the Pilots. Here is Zach Miller on the right wing now. Hedging off a screen. Miller give and go now to Benner. Benner driving baseline. Fade away 14-footers off the rim. Ryan Wassink tips it out, but Wall tracks it down.
I don't like Benner fading away on that. I like to see him go up strong or kick it out and reset and get himself down to the post.
Batester with the ball here on the near wing now. Hedges off a moving screen at the top of the circle. Back out here to Daniel Wall. Back here to Alt here. Back here to Merriman. Foul line extended left. Here's a baseline shot banked up and in by Merriman over Benner. 46-34. They got to stop the guy.
17 now for Merriman.
Here is Ryan Wassink pulling up a 19-foot jump shot and knocking it down. 46-36. 2:54 to go in the first half.
Yeah, the Pilots are going to have to come out in the second half and double Merriman, but they've got to have rotation from the guards if they're going to double the post.
With the basketball here on the right side now, Tyler Alt. Out here to the point now to Wall. He loads up the 3 shot. No good. Merriman once again outworking everybody. Merriman with a drive inside. He was fouled that time by Matt Schaus.
Offensive rebounds.
Huntington just playing harder and smarter than the Pilots right now.
And it comes down. It's fundamental basketball. You got to be in position. You got to have a low base and keep your man off the glass.
As Wall checks out of the ball game now here at the and back into the contest now is TJ Short after the horn. Merriman's free throw is good. 47-36 Foresters. And one more for number 55. Well, I tell you what, just steady as she goes is this kid. Not flashy. You look at him walking in the gym and you think, yeah, right. The next thing you know, sit down. His free throw is no good, so he was 1 of 2 on that time with Shane.
Reminds me a lot of Patrick Hopkins from Indiana Wesleyan.
Yes, he does. There's Matt Schaus with the drive. Right baseline, throws it out here to the top now. On the redirect, Zach Miller. Zach on the dribble, guarded here by Alt. Hedges off the screen. Miller on the drive. And a foul as Zach took a straw into the rack.
It's going to be Alt picking up the foul. It's going to be 2 on him as well.
Well, the Foresters have made a conscious decision that they're going to step out over the screen, Coach, to take away the three-point shot off the screen.
Well, and if the Pilots can spread the floor, then the lane should be open for the big man. Or you got to go ahead and attack the basket and turn that corner.
Miller, who averages 18 points and 3 rebounds, knocks down the charity toss. 47-37. With 2:14 to go in this first half of play. Second free throw, no good. And then the rebound off of Peterson. Great play by Wasink.
Yeah, real good hustle by Wasink. Fortunately, he didn't pick up a third foul, but real big play there. See if the Pilots can get this thing down here to 7 points with a 3-point shot.
And Schaus to inbound the basketball to the right of the lane. The Foresters have done a nice job on Matt Schaus. Here's the ball deflected and stolen. Nice job by TJ Short. So the Pilots looked to get Torres in the mouth and they threw it away.
Can't have that out of Matt Schaus.
With the basketball now here is Baster. And the official just turned around and looked at Ty Platt and says, you sit down, you need to let me referee.
Yeah, that's a new concept here. Coaches coach, officials officiate, players play.
Baster, the 5'10 junior from DeKalb High School, averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds. He's a 57% free throw shooter and he knocks it down. 48-37. 2:03 to go in this first half of play. Checking into the contest now will be Kyle Pippinger, a 6'2", 180-pound freshman from Tri-Village High School in New Madison, Ohio.
Nothing like coming in as a freshman and having the match up against Zach Miller.
And both free throws by Baster are good. 49-37, 12-point advantage by the Foresters. As Baster did a nice job of knocking down some key shots. Benner, fadeaway shot, left corner, good. 49-39, Ryan Benner with a J. Not the shot Coach Gardner wanted, but at this stage they'll take it.
Yeah, it's a tough shot there.
Baster one-on-one with Smith, comes over the timeline now. Left elbow pass now here to Short. Back to the right side now to Pippinger. Pippinger fakes the tray. Comes back out to the top now to Short. Swings it left side on the wing now to Baster. Lobs into the low post to Peterson. Peterson, double team, comes back out to Baster. 12 on the shot clock, 1:26 on the game clock. Now at 10 on the shot clock now. With the basketball, top of the circle, Baster goes right side now to Short. He loads up the triple. Shot goes off the iron, no good, and a foul call on Matt Stout. Matt got beat on a box out right from the get-go.
Yeah, he did. He just got beat to the spot. It's going to be 2 fouls on Matt Schaus.
Kyle Pippinger, the freshman, will go to the charity stripe, 83%. And once again, getting in situations where you're not doing the fundamental things, and those things are like boxing out.
Paul, I've been coaching for over 20 years. I've said and heard some really strange things from a coach towards the officials. On that possession, Coach Platt was just yelling, how many coaches can be standing up? I got to think there's something more important to focus on. His team's playing really well. Encourage them, coach them. Don't worry about how many Bethel coaches are standing up. I've never heard that one.
Free throw on the way. Good again. 51-39, our score. 1:13 to go. And here's a foul call by Caleb Ochin. Illegal screen.
And that's the one that Travis Smith got away with earlier in the game. That's a good call. Caleb's got to be set on the handoff.
And to inbound the basketball to go from right to left will be TJ Short.
Yep, that's a good call by the official right there.
Here's Ryan Baster. One-on-one as he comes over the timeline now into the forecourt. Wrap around to the high post right elbow and out of Merriman. He turns and squares, and Ryan Benner took it out of his hands. Benner pushing the ball up. Ryan on the drive down the lane. She missed the shot. Rebound Peterson. Once again, the Pilots not finishing.
Got to finish. Great defense. Great job attacking the basket. Can't make a layup.
Here's Baser once again over the timeline now. 44 seconds to go. On the right wing, now comes to Merriman at the top of the circle now. Merriman turns and squares. Dribbles to the left side. Now he's double teamed, and Ochin saves it on the turnover. Here come the Pilots.
Now they got to do something here to finish the half.
Here is Caleb Ochin in between the rings now with 24.8 seconds to go. He stares up at the clock, and this will be the final possession of the first 20 for the Pilots, I believe. With the basketball here, Ochin at the top of the circle now. Right elbow pass now to Benner. Benner Turns and squares on Merriman. Benner with a drive, shot, missed it. The rebound ripped out of there. Who's got it? Ball's deflected into the hands of Ochin. He loads up the triple, and the three-point shot goes awry. The Pilots will go to the locker room, a 51-39 trailer. We'll come back. Coach is going into the locker room. He's going to sort it out, Matt, and I'll bring you back with some of our halftime analysis. We're broadcasting live from the Gates Gymnasium at the Wycamp Athletic Center. Our coverage of Bethel College men's basketball being presented in part by the Gates Automotive Group. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group is family-owned and operated and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. Once again, 51-39, our score here at the break. We'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Summer is fast approaching, and so are sports camps at Bethel College. If your child or family member is looking to bring their game to a whole new level, then Bethel sports camps are the perfect choice. Camps are for boys and girls ages 5 to 18 and include girls basketball, boys basketball, father-son overnight basketball, cheerleading, girls softball, boys baseball, track and field, and several different soccer camps for boys and girls. There will also be tennis for both boys and girls volleyball, various overnight camps, and so much more. Our camp instructors are some of the most recognized coaches here at Bethel and bring many years of wisdom and expertise from their respective sports. Your child will be taught both the basics and advanced skills of their chosen activity in a fun, relaxed atmosphere. For registration and more information such as dates, times, and pricing on all of Bethel sports camps, visit us online at BethelCollegePilots.com/camps. Spirited competition, life-changing connections. Bethel College Athletics. We are the ground for spirited connections.
Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
And all was Benjamin Franklin wise.
So you actually think electricity can pass through metal? Ha! Ben Franklin, go fly a kite. Excellent idea. Where are my keys?
Besides the bifocals, Ben invented the Franklin stove, the odometer, and the lightning rod. Ingenuity, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul Condry along with Robbie Lightfoot, Director of Basketball Operations and part-time coach. Guy does everything here at Bethel College. Robbie, first of all, Pilots find themselves in a little bit of that funk that we saw a year ago when they were in that 4-game losing streak. Not just doing the fundamental things, missing box outs, lazy plays on defense. Huntington doing a good job in their own right, but a lot of things the Pilots have hurt their own cause. We'll get to the stats momentarily, but your thoughts in the first half of play. You've been as an assistant coach. You played here in this program. Your impressions of the first half.
Yeah, well, basically, Huntington does a great job of executing their offense, but if you actually give them second chance opportunities, they will make you pay for it. As you can see, they've had a lot of kick-out threes, a lot of kick-out pump-fake drive, get to the basket, and just get extra points. So Bethel does a first job initially, but then on the second time, they either miss a screen out or there's something where there's a defensive breakdown where, when they reach, they get in foul trouble, and that's why you have 4 or 5 guys that are sitting the bench with 2 fouls, and then it has a snowball effect where you have guys that don't really play as much or seeing more minutes than they normally do, having to play, and then they can't defend because they get either tired or they just don't execute.
A couple of extreme things, really, I thought, by your father. He takes a couple timeouts in the first. That's kind of a rare thing for him. And also, Keith Cochran going into the ball game in the first half. That may be the first time we've ever seen that type of scenario. And obviously, the foul trouble. The Pilots find themselves with 3 or 4 guys with a pair of fouls. That had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, they really did. And that's why Keith had to play, is because you had guys like Ryan Rossink, who's on the bench. You have a guy like Patrick Henning, who's on the bench. The next guy that comes off the bench is Mislin. But when Mislin gets tired, who's your next big? It has to be somebody like Keith Cochran. So he came in. He did okay. He did some things well, but like you said, he just doesn't have the experience. He still has a freshman center playing in this league, especially when you go up against a guy like Shane Merriman.
Robbie Lightfoot joining us here at halftime. Robbie, obviously there's a lot of things that you're in charge of, from the opening video to a lot of the social dynamics, all the media press releases. Kind of give us an idea for people who may or may not know. There's a lot of things that you're working on to assist the program, from recruiting to social media. Give us an idea on some of the landscape that that it falls under your premise?
Yeah, well, we just try to do a lot of stuff with social media. That seems to be one of the big things, especially the number one marketing thing, a word to get out to students, especially on campus. If they want to know anything about it, normally 10, 20 years ago was put a flyer out or put something on dorm room walls. Now it's just you just send a tweet or you get it out on Instagram. So Bethel Hoops does a really good job of just putting that stuff up so they can do that. So there's a little team behind the team that kind of goes into creating some of the stuff to get those people excited and to come to the games, and passing out sunglasses today, which apparently attracts students, people getting ready for spring break. That's probably 6-7 weeks away, but they want a free pair of sunglasses, and if it means they're going to come and cheer on the Pilots, so be it.
They really shouldn't panic at this stage, not only in the Crossroads League or in this game. We've seen the Pilots erase big deficits in years past, but the Crossroads League, as expected, we thought was going to be a dogfight, and really the league has been very entertaining thus far.
It really has. I mean, there's been a lot of great competition, top to bottom. I think there's no question that the Crossroads League is the best conference in the country, and I think that's why you see 5 people that are ranked in it, is because there's just so much diversity from top to bottom. You see, not a lot of peril. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. And when you look at guys like St. Francis, who was picked almost like in our shoes last year, they were picked 6th or 7th preseason, and they're standing at the top with Huntington. So anything can happen, but like you said, it's not a chance to get nervous or get a little crazy yet. We've only played 6 Crossroads League games. There's 18 total. We lost 2 of them without the leading scorer of the team, and I think now that he's back, there's some good things. But like you said, there definitely needs to be some adjustments in the second half to get this thing turned around.
All right, let's talk about those second half adjustments. You know how your dad is in regards to some of those things. He can do one or two things. He can rant and rave and kick and scream, or he can be as calm as a mouse, and he really can. What is your impressions of Mike Lightfoot right now in the intermission?
Well, right now I think he's a little disappointed in his team right now. I think that they just kind of came out and Huntington just wanted it more. I think there's a lot of second chance points, and that just comes down to heart and hustle, and I think they're getting those looks. When it comes to Bethel, it seems like there's just a one and done. They need to crash the offensive glass more to give themselves second chance opportunities. Then they definitely have to do a better job of defending Merriman. Now, I understand the circumstances when you got guys in foul trouble, guys that probably shouldn't be guarding, like Ryan Benner. That was not in the game plan for Ryan Benner to guard Shane Merriman. So the fact that he's got almost 20 points at halftime is probably why. But hopefully you can see some of those things, the defensive end, just to screen out, get a defensive stop one time, one possession at a time is definitely what he's harping, because they're not going to come back in 2 minutes. It's going to be a process. So one possession at a time, just get a stop, and then slowly chip away at this thing.
There you have it. Robbie Lightfoot joining us here at the intermission. A thing that doesn't go on in this program, he doesn't know about it. He is the affirmative guy around town. Thanks for joining us here, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Once again, Robbie Lightfoot. We'll be back with more of Bethel College men's basketball right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can't. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Back live at our broadcast location, 51-39. Let's go over to Matt Copsey. Microphone in hand and on this time, and he's ready to give us our first half stats. Matthew?
Okay, for Huntington in the first half, Derek Heinen 2 out of 3 from the field for 4 points. Tyler All 3 of 3 from 3-point range for 9 points. TJ Short 1 of 4 from the field, 2 points. Alec Peterson 1 of 1 from the field for 2 points. Shane Merriman 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 18 points. Drew Benedict 2 of 5 from the field, 5 points. Ryan Baster, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Kyle Pippinger, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Daniel Wolf, 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 points. Huntington in first half was 17 out of 29 from the field, 59%. 7 out of 13 from 3-point range, 54%. 10 out of 13 from the free throw line, 77%. For the Pilots, Travis Smith played but did not score. Matt Schaus, 1 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 points. Zach Miller, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 points. Ryan Benner, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 9 points. Patrick Eddy, 1 of 1 from the field, 2 points. Caleb Ochin, 1 of 3 from the field, 2 points. Landon Booker, 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 points. Brandon Gerber, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Michael Mislin, 1 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 points. Ryan Wasink, 1 of 1 from the field for 2 points. Keith Cochran, 0 of 1 from the field. Pilots, 13 out of 36 from the field, 36%. 2 out of 7 from three-point range, 29%. 11 out of 15 from the free throw line, 73%. 22 rebounds for Huntington in the first half, 7 for Alec Peterson. Bethel with 19, 4 each for Mislin and Schaus. 9 assists for Huntington in the first half, 3 for Shane Merriman. 5 for the Pilots, 3 for Matt Schaus. 6 turnovers for Huntington, only 3 for Bethel. 4 block shots for Huntington, all by Alec Peterson, 1 for Bethel. That belongs to Michael Mislin. 2 steals in the first half for Huntington, Tyler Alt. 3 for the Pilots, 2 for Ryan Benner, 1 for Caleb Ochin.
All right, back in after spending some time in the locker room with the team is the coach, Mark Gardner. Coach, first of all, your impressions of the first half personally, and then take us into the locker room. What was said?
Well, we talked pregame about shooting, and we were talking about Bethel, the importance of contagious shooting and knocking down shots to get everybody going. But it was Huntington, 17 of 29 from the field, 7 for 13 from three-point range, 4 different guys dropping three-pointers. And so I think that's the key there is your shooting. Obviously, Merriman just having his way inside, outside, on the glass. Now you look at Huntington, 8 offensive rebounds that probably resulted in 16 points. Pilots, 11 offensive rebounds, maybe resulted in 4 points. And so it's not necessarily the number of rebounds, it's how efficient were you once you got those rebounds. So defensively, got to find a way to contain Merriman somehow. And they've done that with Cone and some other big men, so I'm not sure what the reasoning is why they can't handle Merriman other than he's just outworking the Pilots.
Okay, now take me into the locker room. What did Coach Lightfoot and all the coaches talk about?
A lot of negative stuff. Really question the guys' energy and effort. I really think that's what it was. It wasn't execution as much as effort. They saw the same thing we saw. They saw a team in green absolutely outplaying a team in white in the first half, and so really threw down the challenge to these guys to either come out and prove that you really want to play and you care about this stuff, or go sit down on the end of the bench and let somebody else have their minutes.
I think one point that changed for Shane Merriman was when Patrick Edding got called for his second foul when it could have been on Merriman, because I think after that point, Merriman got a little bit more confident and he started going to the basket a little bit more aggressive. You've got to try to strike a little bit of more fear into him in the second half.
And that was, they talked about all the different guys, who defended the best, and the comment was made by Coach Daniel. We're not sure how well Pat defended him because we didn't get a chance to see him.
Yeah, Pat went to the bench with 17 minutes to go, and we did not see him at all. And one of the things, the reason he played so well at Marion on Saturday is because he was on the floor. And when he's on the floor, he is very, very effective. We'll be back to start the second 20 minutes right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Hello there, this is Matt King Cole. Wishing you all a happy and a Merry Christmas. The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give lots of toys for tots.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
Back live here to Regional Radio Sports at Bethel College. Hey, I want to wish best of luck to a young man who I've got to know over the last 4 years. He did an internship with us, and just get to know him. He's been doing an internship here at Bethel College. Evan Pulliam, who had a standout baseball career here for Seth Zartman. He is leaving to go into the United States Marine Corps next week, and I want to wish him best of luck as he follows his dream of becoming a United States Marine. So hopefully in about 15 weeks he'll come home from boot camp with an eagle, globe, and anchor in his hands. So best of luck to the former Bethel baseball player Evan Pulliam, who's also been doing an internship here. Our coverage today has been brought to you in part by Mitros Orthopedics, a leader in hip and knee replacement and treatment of Michiana athletes for over 25 years. All right, Coach, second half, who's gonna make the plays for the Pilots to get them an opportunity to win this game?
It's going to have to be Matt Schaus. The ball's in his hands, so Matt's going to have to make things happen on the offensive end, find his shooters, get to the basket, create stuff for the offense. On the defensive end, it's going to come down to Pat Edding, and probably Ryan Wasink's going to be the first option off the bench.
All right, taking a look at Matt Schaus. 4 rebounds, 2 fouls, 5 points, 3 assists, only 1 turnover but 1 for 5 shooting.
And no three-point attempts.
No question about it. But once again, the thing that I circled on the sheet was not only did the Pilots get out-rebounded by 3, but the Pilots with only 5 assists in the first half, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. When the Pilots are playing at their best, 3 points are above 50, and the assist to turnover ratio is usually 2, maybe 3 to 1. So Huntington decked out in the green jerseys, the forest green, the black and white trim. The numbers are white trimmed in black. Huntington will be moving from left to right on your screen here in the second 20 minutes. And the Pilots will be moving from right to left, decked out in the white shorts, the white jerseys, and the blue numbers trimmed in gray. Bethel has Ryan Benner along with Patrick Edding, Zach Miller, Travis Smith, and Matt Schaus. Huntington University will come back and counter with Derek Heinen, along with T.J. Short, Alec Peterson, Tyler Alt, and Shane Merriman. Huntington moves from left to right with a basketball to start the second 20. Derek Heinen, left elbow, hands it off now to Alt. Alt back to Heinen. He swings it to the right side. Now here to Alt, or to Short. Back here on the right wing, now to Heinen. Heinen backing in on Travis Smith. Stops, shoots up and under, and banks it up and in.
A nice freshman. I like that young man.
53-39 in favor of the Foresters. Pat Edding, top of the circle, hands it off to Zach Miller. Zach on the drive, sends it over here to Travis Smith. Smith to the goal. Missed the shot, tipped up by Pat Edding, and finally Travis hauls it down. Back out here to Ryan Benner. Benner back out to the top, and Matt Schaus readjusts and re-engages the offense at the top of the ring now. Matt Schaus looking. Wrap around to the low post now. Here to Edding. Edding to the goal. Missed the shot and rebound. Pat outworked everybody. Back to Schaus. Schaus for 3. Got it. There's the outworking that they needed right there.
Absolutely. Outworking. 2 offensive rebounds. Matt Schaus shooting a three-pointer. Just a great possession for the Pilots there.
With a basketball over the timeline now. Derek Heinen goes to the left side now to Alt. Into the high post now to Peterson. Back to Merriman, right elbow. Swings it right side now to Heinen. Heinen through the leg dribble, drives baseline. Cut off, double teamed there. I'm screened out of the way.
Steal by Travis Smith.
Ty Hunt is standing right in front of me. I can't see a thing. Here's Ryan Benner with a drive inside. Shot from the left block, woefully off the mark. And the rebound ripped out of there. Tell you what, several times tonight, Ryan Benner has taken bad shots.
Yeah, he's fading away. I love when he steps in and goes up and under. I don't like when he fades away.
He just needs to go to the goal.
Yep.
Here is T.J. Short. Far corner now to Alt. His three-point shot rattles in and out. Travis Smith with the ball from right to left now. Over here, had a stolen away here by Short. Short back the other way against Travis Smith. Drive, shoots, makes it up and in. 55-42 in favor of the Foresters. 17:58 to go.
The ball is too precious to throw it away before you get a shot attempt.
Schaus over the timeline now here at the top of the ring. Looks for some help. Hands it off now to Zach Miller. Miller on the drive. Shovels it over here to Pat. Pat to the goal. He scores and he is fouled.
And again, you talked at halftime call about assists, and that's what you get, guys driving and penetrating and kicking to one another as opposed to just watching Ryan back it down. It's a great drive by Zach. A good finish by Pat.
Pat Edding at the 17:43 mark is able to get his club within 11. As Alt comes out of the ballgame and Drew Benedict will come back in.
Got to find Benedict on the offensive end. He's a three-point shooter. He's got 31 threes this year.
Edding's free throw is good to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. 10-point Huntington lead here at the 17:41 mark. Derek Heinen, calm and cool for a freshman. Over the timeline now on the left wing into the low post to Merriman. Give and go to Heinen to the goal, and he banks it up and in. He is great young talent.
Yeah, and he keeps his head on.
Here's Miller over here to Schaus on the right wing. Now Matt to the goal, and he lays it up and in. 57-47. Matt Schaus.
Starts on this end now. You got to get stops.
Yeah, Schaus now with 10.
Short goes here to the right corner now here to Benedict. Benedict around the screen. Goes back here to the near side. Three-point shot on the way off the rim. No good that time by T.J. Short. Here come the Pilots. And Miller over the timeline now. Puts on the brakes, hands it out to Matt Schaus. Schaus looking for some help. Goes out here to Benner at the top. Ryan Benner cross-court sitting out here to Miller. Miller for 3. Knock it down. Zach Miller with a 3-bomb. Pilots within 7. 16:44 to go first second half.
Good screen by Travis Smith.
Benedict with the basketball here on the near wing. Hands it off down to Heinen. Heinen on the right wing now. Looking. Dribbles down the left side. Stops. They try to go inside of the low post. There's a shot blocked away. Into the hands of Peterson. He drives to the goal. Couldn't get it to go. Here's Benner on the breakout. Ryan up the left side. Shovels it inside. Now to Pat. Pat to the goal. Couldn't get it. Pat hustles after it. And finally it's deflected into the hands of Benedict. Benedict around the back, and it's fouled by Travis Smith at the 10-second line.
Missed opportunity there by the Pilots. Great job on the defense end. Great job of running the floor.
Pat Edding has sparked his team with his scrappy play.
Got to have somebody fouling that, though, to crash the boards. You had Benner feed Edding. Edding was out of bounds and came back in. He was the closest Pilot to the ball. The other three guys are standing around watching.
Short inbounds the basketball now here to Heinen. The 6'3" freshman goes left side now here to Short. Short hedges off a moving screen, drives baseline, jump pass out here to Heinen. In the deep right corner to Benedict. His three-point shot is good. Timeout Huntington. 60 to 50 as the Foresters get a key three-point shot at the 15:58 mark here in this second half.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day in Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you are interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by the family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
Coach, 10-point ball game.
Yeah, we talked when Benedict checked in. They said, you've got to find him. The scouting report is number one, shoots three-pointers. No excuse for getting sucked in that deep and giving him that look from the corner from Matt Schaus.
So the Pilots will come out of the timeout by Huntington here at the 15:58 mark. But Edding, Schaus, Miller, Benner, and Travis Smith.
It's been a good offensive start to the half for the Pilots. Just two poor possessions defensively, but we saw them. They had it at 7 with the ball here 45 seconds ago. So plenty of basketball. I like their energy. I like, obviously Pat Edding adds a whole element that they didn't have in the first half. So.
Schaus will walk it up, and it'll be hawked out there by T.J. Short. Now to Smith on the near wing. Smith on the dribble at the free throw line, wrap around to the low post. Now to Ryan Benner. Benner drives, missed his shot. Once again, didn't go strong, faded away by Merriman. Ryan's got to somehow, some way, got to go strong and use the glass.
Yeah, he's got to be able to turn the corner and beat Merriman to the spot. Otherwise, just keep penetrating, kicking, let Matt shoot a three-pointer out there.
Heinen goes inside to the low post now to Merriman. Back out here to Heinen. He loads up the triple and knocks it down. 63 to 50 in favor of the Foresters. 15:22 to go. Here's Pat Edding to the goal. Missed the shot, and he was hammered inside.
Great job on Matt Schaus attacking. Nice behind-the-back pass to Pat. And Pat going up strong. 3 fouls on Peterson now, I believe.
Media timeout coming your way. 15:18 to go here, second half. Foresters by 13. We'll be right back up to this brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group is family-owned and operated and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
Guys, you talked about Derek Heinen. He had 4 points in the first half. He's got 7 here in the second half. He's been the difference offensively for this Huntington team.
And we should expect that because he comes into the game averaging 6 points.
No question about it. We're glad that you can be with us here today. Zach Miller, Matt Schaus, Ryan Benner, Pat Edding, and Travis Smith on the floor for the Pilots. The green-clad Foresters will have Derek Heinen along with Drew Benedict, T.J. Short, Shane Merriman, and Daniel Wall on the floor as Pat Edding is able to convert the free throws after the media timeout. That bringing a lot of energy after this timeout.
Has Marion scored this half?
No.
So we've seen this.
Not even attempted a shot.
There's the free throw deflected out of bounds. And Pat with 1 of 2 on the trip.
Good hustle by Short there to save that to his teammate Benedict.
63-51.
Seen this at other times, Paul, where the Pilots can take away the best player, but we make superstars out of other players.
There's Benedict in the right wing inside. Now here to Heinen. Heinen shovels it inside, and Merriman scores the easy goal. 65-51. Pilots have no answer here tonight. Schaus with a drive down the lane, and a foul called on Drew Benedict.
It's going to be 3 on Benedict. Travis Smith is the Bethel defensive specialist, and Derek Heinen is tearing him up tonight, inside, outside. Pilots need to come up with something new. I'd like to see Booker get in there, maybe just give him a different look.
Schaus will go to the charity stripe. The junior from Centerville, averaging 14.6 a game, 5.6 rebounds a game, 78% from the line, 5 assists to steal, and 3.5 turnovers a game. 65-52. 14:53 to go in regulation.
Schaus with 11, trying to make it 12.
Landon Booker checked in for Travis Smith there after the first free throw.
Matt's free throw is off the rim. Another 1 of 2 situation. And here's Pat Edding with the rebound on the deflection back to Zach Miller. Miller on the drive inside. Tip no good, but tipped by Pat Edding. Up no. Finally Pat tips it out here to Ryan Benner. Good job by Pat Edding. He has been the spark in the second half.
Absolutely. If the Pilots find a way to win this game, it's Pat Edding.
Ryan Benner splits the defense into the hands of Booker. Booker had a tip, and Booker was fouled on the hand from behind.
Looked like Merriman got away with a foul on Benner. See who they call that one out.
Coach, I'm going to do some second guessing here, but I'm going to second guess against all basketball coaches. All basketball coaches think that, a guy gets 2 fouls, we're going to sit him down on the bench and let him play with 3 in the second half. But in the situation right now, you're looking for some kind of spark in that second half to keep it close. The question is, did you dig yourself a hole? And evidently the Pilots have, that they can't even shoot free throws out of.
So that's 3 missed free throws here in the first 5 minutes of the half. Paul, I think it depends. You know your players. You know who can play through it and who can't. In Pat Edding's case.
And Booker misses a pair of free throws, but Pat keeps it alive. And here's the ball.
Historically, Pat's shown he can't play with 2 fouls in the first half. We know that. And so I think at the JV level, I don't have a problem. I have about a 7-man roster if I'm lucky. And so as long as you don't have 5, you're out there playing.
All checks in for Benedict. And the Pilots, once again, another opportunity off a weird play to inbound the basketball. Shouts to trigger the right of the lane. Looks. Comes back out here high now to Pat Edding. And Pat will hand it off to Zach Miller, and he'll engage the offense here at the top of the ring now. Zach on the dribble, hands it off to Book. Book on the drive. Drives left block and banks it up and in. Nice drive by Landon. And a good close by Landon.
Yeah, that's a good finish by Landon. I thought it should have been a foul on Heinen, but the officials let him get away with one there.
14:08 to go. Pilots a 11-point trailer once again. Heinen.
Stop, score, stop is what you want if you're Bethel.
We're here to Short on the far wing now. Short guarded by Edding inside of the low post now to Merriman. Back inside here to All, kick out to Merriman. His 3-point shot is good. In and out, no good. And Booker grabs the rebound. Landon pushing it out. Over the timeline now. Shovels it to Schaus. Tap here to Benner. Benner inside. Scored a foul call.
It's going to be 3 fouls on Daniel Wall as well, I believe.
Nice play by the Pilots pushing the issue up. And now it's a 65-56 ball game as Ryan Benner with 13:40 to go.
Benner with 11 trying to make it 12 with the 3-point play.
Wall and Benedict with 3 fouls each now. Benedict just checked back in with 3 fouls. See if the Pilots can take advantage of that.
Benner's free throw is good. And it's now a 65-57 ball game. Big 3-point play there for the Pilots. Here's Heinen with the ball, driving down the lane, blocked by Pat Edding. Back the other way, 3-on-2 break. Here's Booker, lobs it inside, now to Benner. Benner's hammered inside, that time by TJ Short, and Benner going back to the line.
It's going to be 3 fouls now and Short as well. Great job by the Pilots. Great defense by Pat Edding. Well, I'll tell you what, it's the best 6-7 minute stretch that I've seen Pat Edding play in 4 years of college.
Well, you should have seen him play on Saturday because he played as well as I've ever seen him play on Saturday. The key thing, plain and simple, he needs to be on the floor for this team to have some success. 13:27 to go. We want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group.
Check out the new Gates of Granger on State Road 23 in Granger. The Gates of Granger is a full-service shop for all brands and models. With their state-of-the-art base paint and body shop, you can't go wrong when it's time for all your detailing work. At the Gates of Granger, you can also see and buy the top 10 models of pre-owned cars, pickups, SUVs, and vans. The Gates Automotive Group, celebrating 85 years of integrity.
Matt, your impressions?
Well, I think Bethel is playing with some sense of urgency right now over this last 6-7 minutes, like Coach Gardner said. And you guys hit it right on the head. Patrick Edding has been the spark plug when he's out on the floor. And I think they seem to be a little bit more in sync of what they're doing defensively as well. They're not allowing them to go to the basket like they did at times in the first half. Granted, they've had some open looks from the first half, but they haven't knocked them down. They're doing a better job of boxing out and finding the man out there.
All right, on the floor for the Pilots, it'll be Booker, Schaus, Benner, Miller, and Pat Edding.
Pilots conditioning. These guys bust their tails in the offseason, the preseason for moments like this. You hope that the Pilots are not sucking wind. You hope that Huntington starts to get tired. They start to be slow on the rotations, pick up some of these fouls, and I think that's what you're seeing right now.
It'll be Short Benedict along with Daniel Wall, Derek Heinen, and Shane Merriman on the floor for the Foresters.
And if you notice, Bethel's only made one substitution. That's Landon Booker in for Travis Smith.
Benner with another key opportunities at the line. Let's see what he can do here. Once again, the timeout, coming out and shooting free throws after a timeout. Sometimes good, and in this case, no.
5 missed free throws this half, I believe, for the Pilots.
Boy, I tell you what, Landon Booker missed a pair of free throws, and another miss a pair of free throws. Two for miss. Boy, I tell you what, you got a dead clock, and you work so hard on defense. And here's TJ Short with the ball on the far wing now. Comes back out to the top now to Wall. Wall back to Short on the far wing. Lobs it inside now to Merriman. Merriman cross courts it now here to Benedict. A wide open three, good.
Matt Schaus cannot lose him. That's uncalled for.
68-57 in favor of the Foresters. Here's Zach Miller at the top of the ring now.
That's poor defensive execution there by Matt. Saw that coming.
Matt with the ball on the left wing, foul line extended left, comes back out here to Ryan Benner. Benner on the exchange, drives to the right side, right elbow, and he had it stripped away and stolen by Wall. Nice job by Daniel Wall. And Benner with a turnover, a key turnover after a pair of missed free throws.
That's good defense there by Daniel Wall.
With the ball here, Benedict on the far wing now. Looking for some help, goes into the corner now. Give and go. Here's a spin by Wall to the goal, and he scores. 70-57. Pilots on the ropes again, down 13. 12:22 to go. Here's Benner handing it off to Zach Miller. Miller looking for some help. Backs it out of harm's way. Now comes here to the near side. Goes left side now to Booker. Booker on the drive. Fadeaway shot, 12-footer. Left side good. Huge basket for Landon. 70-59.
You're back in that stop, score, stop mentality, though. Had a chance to cut it to 6 just 2 minutes ago.
Here's Wall handing it off here to the right side now. And they'll swing it back to Heinen at the top now. 11:48 to go in the regulation. Pilots an 11-point trailer. Here is Wall here in the block right. Backing in on Benner. Fakes. Had it stripped away. And Landon tipped it out here to Heinen. Heinen loads the triple. Shot no good. Ryan Benner comes out of nowhere with the carom. Benner pushing up the right sideline. Goes in the corner now to Schaus. Schaus on the dribble. Jump pass out here to Miller. Zach looking on the crossover. Spins. Reverses it back out here to Schaus. And he'll re-engage the offense here on the near wing.
Wall's got 3 fouls. Matt has to attack him.
There's a pass inside of the low post. Pat Edding driving, shooting, and couldn't get it to go. He had a big mismatch on the 5'9 freshman, Drew Benedict.
Yeah, and that's going to be 4 fouls on Wall, and that's good recognition by Matt. I didn't see the mismatch down there, so great job by Matt seeing that down on the post.
Shane Merriman coming out of the ball game now, and Wall coming out of the ball game now, and some substitutions for Huntington and for Bethel respectively. As Pat Edding is at the line to shoot some free throws. And the guests already in foul trouble as Pat knocks down the charity toss. So Bethel in the 1 in bonus, Coach, at the 11-13 mark. What a golden opportunity to have there. And with the first free throw, Pat closes the gap to 10 now.
They've got to capitalize on that, though, get to the foul line and make the free throws. We saw it in the high school game that you and I called last Friday. A team was in the bonus with about the 6-minute mark, but didn't get their next free throw until the 2-minute mark because they didn't take advantage of it.
Pat with one more opportunity. A solid second half for him, Matt.
Yeah, he's got 7 now, 5 here in the second half.
70-61 as Pat knocks him down at the 11-10 mark.
Good ball pressure there by Booker.
Baster goes here to the right. Block here to Short. Back out to the top now to All. Wrap around to the Right up, Gerber in the ball game now. Was free throw line out of Peterson. Peterson was right side out of Baster. Baster looking for some help. And it should have been a foul on Pat, and there is the foul.
Yep.
That's a good call. That's by the official.
Real good job of Peterson presenting his body, showing the numbers to his guard Baster there for the easy post entry pass. And Pat holding onto the jersey, which can't do.
Third foul on Pat Edding. Second on the team in the half. And to inbound the basketball will be TJ Short to the right of the lane underneath his own goal. Here's Baster on the drive. Bounce pass inside to Peterson. He drives and scores. 72-61 in favor of the Foresters. 10:41 to go. Schaus on the right wing now. Looking for some help. Crosses over. Drives inside the lane, and he's fouled again.
Now it's being much more aggressive this half. Getting the basket, going up strong. Now he's got to knock down these free throws here.
So Schaus at the 10:33 mark to shoot a pair. Or shoot one in bonus. Or are they going to give him two?
Going to give him two, and that's 3 fouls on Alt now as well.
Free throw's good. 72-62.
For Huntington there, you've got Wall with 4 fouls, Benedict, Peterson, and Alt all playing with 3 fouls.
Shaw's second free throw is good. And it's a 9-point game again, 72-63. So it'll be Baster one-on-one with Booker as he crosses the timeline now into the forecourt. Bounce pass to the right side now to Benedict. Top of the ring now to Alt. Alt goes left side to Baster on the far wing. Into the high post now to Peterson. He turns and squares on Eddie. And here's Landon on the double down. And it slaps it out of bounds. Good play by Landon on the double down.
Yeah, real good help defense there by Landon. Good start to the half there by Matt Schaus. Other than he lost Benedict twice defensively. Real good offensive 10 minutes there for Matt.
To the left of the lane, it'll be Alt, another Fort Wayne Carroll product. Boy, it's the Carroll-Columbia City connection here with this squad.
How good was Columbia City last year?
Columbia City has 3 players on this team, and Carroll has a pair. They can make an all-star team from that group. Here's Baster hedging off a screen. Looking, goes now. That clock scored now to Alt. His jump shot from 3. Caroms into the right corner now to Booker. Booker up the left sideline now to Benner. Ryan Benner stops from 3. Off the rim, no good rebound. Call on Pat Edding. That'll be his 4th.
You can call that on Peterson or Pat?
That'll be
Pat.
Pat's 4th foul of the ball game now. So at the 9:51 mark, Pat is going to pick up his 4th foul.
Poor job defensively by Huntington, not recognizing Benner there on the break. Unfortunately, Ryan couldn't knock down the wide open 3.
Do you like the shot by Ryan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would be mad if he didn't take that shot. He got a chance to knock this to a 6-point game, and he's a great shooter.
From left to right, here's Derek Heinen in the Huntington Foresters.
Shooter's got to shoot, Paul. That's
up the left sideline. Booker putting the heat on Heinen. Hands it off now here to Alt. Alt. Back to Heinen. Heinen showed tremendous poise for a freshman playing here at Bethel for the first time. Here is Alt. Wrap around here to the right wing now, here to Heinen. Heinen. And a foul called on Ryan Wasink on the hold on Peterson.
You can't defend. The way they're calling this, all Peterson's doing is just throwing his body into guys, and he's getting the call. And on the other end, you're seeing Merriman, Benner just kind of bouncing off Merriman.
Peterson comes out of the ball game, and Shane Merriman will come in. And Benedict to inbound the basketball to the right of the lane. Goes here to Heinen. Heinen, one-on-one against Booker. Drives inside the lane, leans in, scores, and he's fouled. 74-63 in favor of the Foresters. Pilots can't get over the hump here.
Yeah, it's, again, really impressed with Derek Heinen, the way he's played. He keeps his composure. He doesn't talk trash. He just goes out and plays good, solid basketball. He's a fine young man.
And the right-hander from Columbia City. Eyes, flies, and got it to go. 3-point play, 75-63. Favor of the Foresters. Benner right side now to Miller. Miller looking for some help. Still on the dribble. Goes left side now to Benner. Benner loads up the 3-point shot. Missed it. Rebound. And Shane Merriman. Another miss.
Good luck for the Pilots.
With a basketball, Tyler Alt over the timeline now. The right side now here to Drew Benedict. Benedict hedges off a screen. Will load up the 3. Missed it. The rebound, Landon Booker. Taps it over to Wasink. Now to Book. Book over the timeline. Drives. Shoots, missed it, tipped up by Brandon Gerber is good. 75-65. Gerbs with a basket inside.
Booker can get to the basket at will. Pilots have to get defensive stops. I like to see Landon attack the basket. If the help comes over, then find the open man. If the help doesn't, finish strong.
Here's Heinen on the far side against Booker. Backing in on Book. Running one-hander in the lane over Booker. Good. 77-65. Heinen just doing a great job here.
Heinen now with 18, 14 here in the second half.
He comes in averaging 12 a game. Zach Miller loading up a three-point shot off the rim. No good. Tipped up on the floor. Gerber is asking for a timeout. He got one. Good play by the hustling Brandon Gerber. Timeout on the floor. 8 minutes and 12 seconds remain. Huntington in command, 77-65 with 8:12 to go in the ballgame.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World, Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you're interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by a family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
Mike Lightfoot's 699th career win. A difficult one to find right now. He's lost 2 consecutive games. Keep in mind the Pilots will be on the road in Mount Vernon and Nazarene. I'll be down there along with Adam Dembry for a twin bill coming up on Saturday. Women play at 12:40 with the pregame, followed by the men's game. So we encourage you to join us for that ball game coming up on those ball games coming up on Saturday.
Tell you right now, Paul, you got one team just playing better than the other. The Pilots' effort has been much better in the second half. The execution's still not there. Missing open shots, missing defensive assignments down here on this end. Huntington taking advantage of every crack that the Pilots leave and finishing. And you usually don't have a game plan where you have to focus on double teaming the point guard. But the way that Heinen's been backing down Booker and taking Smith to the rack, you almost now have to try and double team him where he's the guy that they were doubling off of in the first half.
Schaus, Gerber, Smith, Miller, and Benner on the floor for Bethel. Here's Zach Miller loading up the 3 on the inbounds, knocking it down.
Got to give him more shots.
77-68 as Zach was able to knock the triple down. How many for him
16 now for Miller.
How many threes, Matt?
4.
And I think he's too unselfish sometimes. He just needs to catch and shoot more often.
77 threes on the season for number 22 for Bethel. Here's ball. Well, Coach, I'm totally screened out of the way here.
32 missed the shot.
Short back down. Zach Miller come up, missed it.
Here is a Brandon Gerber.
Nice
Someone
pass.
to Schaus, and Schaus is fouled away from behind.
Now he dropped it out of bounds.
Ooh.
It's a good pass by Gerber. Matt just dropped it out of bounds. Again, great hustle, great effort. Got a chance to cut it to 7 and come up short.
To inbound the basketball will be Tyler Alt. To go against full court pressure. Alt looking. Comes over here to the left side now to Derek Heinen. And then now they move from left to right. Alt quickly over the timeline now into the forecourt. This right side now here to Heinen. Heinen looking for some help. Cross court sit now here to Alt. Or check that to TJ Short. Short hedging off a Merriman screen. Hands it to Merriman. Now he goes right side now here to Heinen. Heinen looking for some help. Dribbles out here. The 45-foot mark right in front of my vantage point. Heinen around the screens. Still looking to wrap around to the low post. And a foul called on Peterson.
That's Peterson just clearing out. Absolutely. He walked Benner right up to the free throw line.
4.
Give me his 4th. But they let him get away with it. That'll frustrate both coaches because I said earlier that Peterson just throw his body around, get what he wants, so Coach Lightfoot's mad, and now they call that foul for the first time all night, and Coach Platt's upset.
It's a 4th foul on Peterson.
It's a big foul.
The Wall comes back in with 4.
Yeah, that's a good. Like to see him attack Wall here.
All right, it'll be Matt Schaus with the basketball over the timeline now. Angles on the dribble to the right side now, drives all the way to the goal. Ball deflected around and just ill-advised pass play that time by Matt Schaus.
Yeah, he just threw that one up there.
Here's Heiner with the drive down the lane, missed a shot, rebound Wall, and a foul called on Bethel.
Yeah, that's Matt got to the basket, just threw the ball at the basket instead of shooting it.
And third foul whistled on Brandon Gerber.
Team 6, so still out of bounds.
Alt to trigger the inbound to the right of the lane, underneath his own goal. Looking, comes out here to the deep right corner, on a Heinen, guarded by Matt Schaus. Heinen on the dribble, backing in on Schaus, shoots over Schaus. Shot left it woefully short, but Matt didn't box anybody out.
Yeah, Heinen just outworked Matt. Great defense by Matt on the shot attempt, but then Heinen just outworked and went and got the ball.
I mean, Heinen knew he missed the shot, so he just went around Matt. So it'll be Bethel basketball, 77-68 trailer.
I'm sorry, Paul. First time I've seen Heinen lose his composure. He just yelled, "That's horrible." He seems pretty frustrated. He's done a great job all night of keeping his head on his shoulder.
Here is Schaus with the basketball now here. In between the rings, looking for some help, goes right elbow now to Gerber. Gerber on the dribble, looking, goes now to the right block now to Benner. Benner looking out, he's got Travis Smith on the right wing. Travis drives inside, missed the shot, and then another missed opportunity by the Pilots.
Yeah, not a good shot attempt there. Just, again, the Pilots now are looking to draw contact instead of playing basketball.
Heinen with the ball over the timeline now. Edges off the screen to the far wing, timeout Huntington University. 6 minutes to go exactly in the ballgame. Pilots a 77-68 trailer. We'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Thanks for joining us here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Mark Gardner, Matt Copsey. Courtside here at the Gates Gymnasium. 6 minutes to go. 77-68 Huntington right now. The Pilots have to dig deep within inside themselves and decide, do they want it more? Who's going to be the leader that's going to rise to the forefront for this Bethel team? Right now, somebody needs to step to the forefront and demand the ball and demand to take over the basketball game. It'll be Zach Miller, Ryan Benner, Travis Smith, Matt Schaus, and Brandon Gerber on the floor for Bethel. Huntington will have Merriman along with Derek Heinen, Tyler Alt, Daniel Wall, and inbounding the basketball on the far sideline will be TJ Short.
Pilots have had 3 opportunities to cut this lead down to 7 and miss layups all 3 times.
Heinen with the ball one-on-one against Schaus. Runs through a screen. He's on the right wing looking. Wrap around to the low post now to Wall. Wall backing in on Benner. Wall scores and, it came out. Thought that ball was going to come down. Foul on Benner again.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you look at this film, you would think that the guys in white are the freshmen and the guys in green are the upperclassmen. And I hate to say that, and it hurts to say that. But these freshmen for Huntington have come out here and handed it to the Bethel Pilots today.
Free throw no good by Daniel Wall, a 62% free throw shooter. And every moment that goes off the clock here, the Pilots find themselves closer to going 3-4 in the Crossroads League and completely out of the top 25 by the next voting.
Yeah, nothing fancy from Wall, Heinen, and Benedict. They just get it done. Benedict's hit the open shot. You know, Wall's getting the shots that we would like to see Benner get. He's at the basket. He's getting through the defense, run to the defense, not fading way over the defense. And Heinen just kept his composure and done whatever he's needed to do.
Wall's free throw no good, so Wall missed a pair of free throws at the 5:45 mark. And Bethel with the basketball. Zach Miller on the far right cross court. Now here to Ochin. Inside to Benner. Benner powers inside, fake shoots, and tipped up and in by Brandon Gerber. Gerber was there to save the day. 77-70, as bad as Bethel has played.
They said within 7. Absolutely. When we talked in the first half, Peterson's going to try and block, so whoever Peterson's guarding has to crash the glass, and Gerber did that.
Ball here in between the rings. Derek Heinen, one-on-one against Schaus. Still on the dribble, drives to the right side, stops, fakes, and a foul call. Heinen has done an outstanding job in this basketball game. I am so impressed with him. He may be the best freshman in the league.
Yeah, he might be. I've been real impressed with him. And again, Matt Schaus there, he came to a jump stop, pump faked, and got Matt leaning and drew the contact.
Averaging 5.5 assists, 1 steal, 3.5 rebounds, and 12 points per ball game. He is a heady player. And the right-hander's free throw is in and out, no good.
He struggled from the foul line today. It's
1 of 4.
Yeah, it's the only area that he's had a bad game.
He'll have one more opportunity here now at 5:08. See what he can do. Free throw good this time. 78-70. Favor of Huntington University. And Zach Miller just got knocked to the floor. What was that? I missed the play. I was
Gerber set a screen, and Peterson just stepped right into Zach Miller's, right into his cut.
And a foul away from the basket called on Brandon Gerber. And the Pilots losing their composure, ladies and gentlemen.
That's 4 on Brandon now.
Yeah, and I think Matt just settled for a jumper there. I was watching Zach Miller on the cut side, but it looked like Matt just pulled the 3 over there.
So Heinen at the line. The right-hander is good on the free throw this time. 79-70. 4:56 to go.
18 points now for Heinen.
Gerber coming out of the contest now. Well, we have not seen Michael Mislin in the second half.
Ryan Wassink for just a minute or two.
And the free throw good again. Now a 10-point ball game again. 80-70. The Huntington Foresters freshman. Here's Miller. 3-point shot at the top. Karam's out long. And Pat Edding, who's in the ball game, tried to track it out. Mike Leifet's going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 10-point Huntington lead as we hit the home stretch. 4:46 to go. Merriman's checking back in for the Foresters. We'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can't. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You get to the top, get hooked in, and then you look over the edge. I was like, no way am I jumping off this tower. I'm staying right here. I'm like, am I ever going to be good enough to be a Marine? When it was all said and done, watching the car guard raise the American flag, I thought, I am a United States Marine.
PFC Keith Polka knows you don't join the Marines, you become one. Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Zach Miller, Caleb Ochin, Matt Schaus, Patrick Edding, and Ryan Benner on the floor for the Pilots as we come out of this Bethel timeout with 4:46 to go. Let's go over to Matt Schaus with a game reset. Matthew?
Well, I'm Matt Copsey. Matt Schaus is on the floor.
All right, check that, Mr. Copsey.
Two timeouts.
Spend that kind of night for me.
2 timeouts left for both teams. Both teams with 19 fouls. Arrow favors Bethel.
All right, buddy. Good job. Five me up, brother. It's been that night for me, too. And I'm worried about it. Anyways, with the ball on the far wing now, Heinen. Top of the circle now, backs it out. And once again, spreading the floor, milking the clock with 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Heinen going to settle for the 3. Heinen on the drive, jump pass out to Marrier. 30-footer, caroms off the iron, and nobody goes and gets it. Finally, Ochin tracks it down. Here is Ryan Benner, 3-point shot from the far wing, good. 80-73, Ryan Benner with 3:58 to go, knocks down the triple.
And you said this a little while ago, for as poorly as the Pilots have played at stretches, this is a 7-point game with 4 minutes to go. There's a lot of basketball left. Got to get a stop here.
Heinen, left side on the wing now to Alt. Or check that to TJ Short. Back to the right side now to Heinen. Into the low post now here. The Wall. Wall backing in on Benner.
Good.
And inside they go. Ball deflected and steal comes coming in for the Pilots. Zach Miller, top of the circle to Benner. Benner for 3. Go! Pilots within 4 on back-to-back Ryan Benner bombs with 3:18 to go.
Now you see what kind of composure these freshmen have. As things start getting a little tighter, the crowd's getting into it. We'll see what happens here. Huntington's going to come take a timeout.
Timeout on the floor. Huntington University. Thought Ty Platt was going to blow 16 gaskets that time. 3:05 to go. Our coverage brought to you in part by the Gates Automotive Group.
The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group is a family-owned and operated and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
So who do you want to be? You want to be Zach Miller since I got Matt Schaus here?
I was Mark Johnson on Friday night, so
whatever, I guess. Come on.
2 timeouts left for Bethel, 1 now for Huntington. Both teams with 19 fouls. All favors Bethel. Ryan Benner now with 18 points for the Pirates to lead the way.
As poorly as they have played to be here is nothing short of miraculous.
Absolutely, and 3 minutes is a lot of time. This is about 24 seconds on the shot clock coming out here. You know that Huntington's going to pound the ball to the inside. The Pilots have to be ready to double down and hit the glass, limit the one-shot opportunity.
Pilots in the midst of a 6-0 run.
And it seems like these last couple of possessions, Huntington's been very tentative. It's like they're trying to shorten the game when they're getting away from what's got them there.
Are you saying they're trying not to lose instead of trying to win?
Yeah, and it's one thing to be a freshman and be playing with a 10 or 11-point lead with 17 minutes to go. It's another thing to be a freshman with a 4-point lead after you've seen a 10-point lead dwindle quickly. So we'll see what happens here.
TJ Short to inbound the basketball literally right in front of me. Back to the far side to Heinen. Heinen shot inside.
Blocked by Pat Edding. I think they're going to call Matt for a push in the back. Yep.
That's 4 fouls on Matt Schaus now.
And with 3:03 to go, Huntington go to the charity stripe again. Huntington as a team shooting 73%. And Heinen, who has had his own troubles but has been good the last 3 trips.
It's 4 out of 7, 4 out of 8 now.
And once again, the broadcaster's curse.
Yep. Let's see. Pilots have to block out here, though. If there's a miss, got to block out, get a chance to come away with the rebound and go down and shoot, too, if you get over the back call.
Free throw on the way. No good. So he's 0-2 on that trip.
Get to the basket.
Schaus, right wing now. Top of the circle to Zach Miller. Miller waiting for a cutter. Swings the left side, now to Ochin. Into the low post, now to Benner. Benner backing in. Spinning. Driving to the goal. Blocked away.
That's 5 fouls. Yep, that's going to be 5 fouls on the freshman Wall, who's had a good game, a real good game tonight.
So with 2:46 to go in regulation, Wall fouls out.
Gotta hit the free throws, though. It doesn't do any good to have Wall foul out and get the line if you don't finish.
Mike Fox will come over here and talk to Ty Platt and his assistant coaches. Some scores to pass along.
Yeah, buddies at Winona Lake pulled off another one for us.
Grace beat Marion tonight, 52-51.
Doesn't mean anything though if the Pilots don't take advantage of it, take care of business here at their place.
2:46 to go, and at the charity stripe, Ryan Benner, I take you back to the 13:27 mark, where Ryan Benner missed 2 free throws. Let's see what he does here now with the game on the line. The free throw is good this time.
7 straight points for Ryan, I believe.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, 19 for the game.
This one coming at the 2:46 mark. And Ryan with one more opportunity. The free throw on the way, no good, so he was 1 of 2. All right, 3-point game.
Stop, score, stop.
Derek Heinen over the timeline now for Huntington. Left side now to TJ Short. Short waiting for a cutter. Goes into the corner now to Heinen. Heinen looking. On the dribble, comes out to Merriman. He loads up the triple, missed it. Air ball. And boy, will he.
Merriman 1 of 4 in the second half.
What does he have? 2 points this half.
He scored his first basket, and since then he's missed 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, and that comes back to conditioning. He's tired. He's been tired. He played a great first half. I think he used up everything he had in that first half.
Well, I think that's why they've been substituting him, keeping him on the bench, trying to keep him in for his final 2.5 minutes.
Schaus with the ball here on the near wing. Hands it off now to Ochin. Ochin on the weave. Hands it off to Benner. Benner on the dribble. Still on the dribble, looking for a cutter. Wrap around to Pat Edding. Pat to the goal and a one-hand dunk. 80-79, 9 unanswered. P.O. with a dunk with the right hand.
And Huntington likes to switch the screen, and so you had Peterson jump out on Benner when Pat set that screen, and that's a no-brainer. You got to feed Matt against the freshman Heinen down on the low post.
Heinen with a basketball here. Right side pass now here to TJ Short. Short on the right wing. Drives. Lean in, one-hander, no good, and a foul called on Pat.
Yeah, Pat's done. He's going to foul out with 10 points and 7 rebounds.
It's a tough foul on Pat. That's a good job by Short to get there and draw contact.
So a pair of players have fouled out of the ballgame, one for each team, as Brandon Gerber comes into the lineup now. And at the charity stripe, TJ Short, who averages 12 points, 4 rebounds, and is a 72% free throw shooter. His free throw is good.
And he hit that first 3-pointer of the night. Has he hit anything since then?
He has one basket here. He's got 6 points now for the game.
And Short with one more opportunity. Second free throw good again. 82-79. 3-point Huntington lead with $1:43 to go in regulation. Zach Miller top of the ring now. Guarded by Alt, comes back to the right wing now to Matt Schaus. Schaus on the dribble, hands it off now to Ochin. Ochin on the dribble, loads up the 3-point shot, air ball, or hit the corner of the rim, I guess.
Not the shot you want from Caleb. You got Miller, Schaus, Benner out there. One of those guys has to be taking that shot right now.
Heinen, right side now here to Short. Short cross courts it now to Alt. Alt in between the rings. Back to Heinen on the far wing with 70 seconds remaining in the ball game now. Here's Heinen in between the rings now. Angle on the dribble to the far side now at the midcourt area with 7 on the shot clock. Heinen crosses over, wrap around to the look. Stolen by Ochin. Ochin over the timeline now. Looking for some help, finds Matt Schaus. Matt to the goal, and he's hammered that time.
And that's 5 fouls on Peterson. Absolutely, yes. And I wish the previous possession. Caleb's a great shooter, but you know they're going to switch the screen. You got it the previous possession. Peterson's got to let Gerber set a screen and make Peterson defend.
So to the charity stripe, the Pilots will go after the timeout. Once again, 48 seconds to go. Huntington by 3, 82-79. We want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group.
Did you know that Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, or Gates of Granger. Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for 85 years.
Final scores in the Crossroads League tonight. Iowa beat Taylor 71-52. St. Francis won against Spring Arbor 66-62. And Grace beat Marion 52-51. This one's still in doubt here with 48 ticks of the second half clock remaining as Schaus is at the line.
And with Wall and Peterson on the bench, Huntington becomes a small team out there with Short being the second biggest player on the floor.
Matt Schaus, the right-hander, rattles home the free throw. 82-80. One more for the Centerville product. Wipes off his hands on the back of his shorts. He'll take 3 dribbles, the knee bend, the eye, the fly, rims, no good. Rebound Merriman, so 1 of 2. Once again, the Pilots continue in marquee situations, missing free throws.
Yep, gotta have that.
Here's Baster going right side now here to Short. Short out here on the perimeter now, on the dribble. He's double teamed, hands it out now here to Heinen. Heinen, 29 seconds on the game clock, 15 on the shot clock. Heinen, one-on-one with Schaus. Looks up at the clock now, in between the circles now. On the clear out. Drives, spins, fadeaway shot. Good. 84-80. What a shot by the freshman.
Great composure. Great composure.
With the basketball. Schaus over here, now to Benner. Benner, top of the ring now. Looking for some help, backing in. Shot on the way, good. 84-82 as Ryan Benner continues to keep his club in the ballgame with 4.9 seconds to go. Once again, timeout on the floor. Huntington by 2. We'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we'll always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand For each other. For our nation. For us all. The few. The proud. The Marines.
All right, Matt, real quickly, game reset.
One timeout left, both teams, double bonus, Air favors Bethel.
All right, it will be Huntington.
As a coach, Paul, I'm telling my guys, they're expecting us to come foul. So when they inbound the ball, go tie them up. It's our ball. Don't foul. Go for the ball first. Because any player out here is going to catch it and think he's going to get fouled.
Baster to inbound the basketball to go the length of the floor. Smith, Booker, Benner, Schaus, and Gerber on the floor. Baster goes to Merriman, and there's a foul here.
Good. Knock him in, Shane. Knock him in.
And Ryan Benner talking with Mike Lightfoot. What's it? Mike not happy with Ryan.
No, I wasn't happy with the defensive execution there. I think he's supposed to be denying, and Ryan's saying one of the other coaches must have said something to him because now coach is talking to one of the assistant coaches. So confusion coming out of the timeout.
So Shane Merriman at the line, 79.4 seconds to go, 4.1 to go in the ball game. And a timeout called by Bethel College with 4.1 to go. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back with more right after this. 84-82. Our game is being broadcast live from Bethel College. We'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
College softball players Mallory Holtzman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win.
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship. Pass it on from the Foundation for Better Life at Values.com.
There's some magic in the Hoosier Nation tonight as Indiana takes down number 3 Wisconsin 75-72. Yogi Ferrell goes off for 25 points. Is there any magic in the night here for the Bethel Pilots? Well, they're going to put the top player in the Crossroads League, certainly in many people's minds, in Shane Merriman at the line here. His club a 2-point leader at 84-82 with 4.1 to go in regulation. Once again, Crossroads League basketball, your bottom dollar, your best place to go for some winter entertainment, that is for sure. So Merriman is getting the business from the Y-Camp Blackos over there on the far side. The Fort Wayne Carroll product, 6'5", 205, with the hard dribble. Free throw on the well, no good. Now, another opportunity here. Ryan Wasink will check into the ballgame now for Brandon Gerber.
If he makes this, I assume you'll see Huntington foul after the Pilots put it on the floor on the inbound. Not give up a 3-point attempt. I don't know. We'll see. Every coach that one differently.
Merriman with the wide balance on the free throw. Free throw good. 3-point ballgame, 85-82. There's the ball inbounded, and Merriman nearly, or did he hit his head over there on the... Well, I tell you, he took a really odd spill as he lost his footing over there, and I don't know if he's got a cramp in his foot, but it looks like his head hit the bench over there. Sarah Hawk really quickly hustling over there, and Shane will hustle over here. Will he come out of the ball game now?
Freshman mistake there by Ryan Wasink, having the inbounds pass tipped and allowing 2.7 to roll off the clock there.
2.2. Merriman's got to come out of the ball game, and now in will be another one of those youngsters, Kyle Pippinger. And he didn't even check into the ball game.
Well, it used to be a technical foul, but these days apparently the official stops you and tells you to go check in.
So Ryan Benner to inbound the basketball here.
Somebody's got to come get the ball from him.
Well, they're going to run Zach Miller off of a double or triple screen. Yep.
Here's a pass here to Brandon Gerber, and then a foul call. That time with 0.9 seconds to go. That's a great play there by Huntington. Foul him way out here. And if Brandon turns and shoots,
he's shooting 3.
And he's shooting 3. But he didn't show a shooting motion on that play. So Gerber here with 0.9 to go will try to keep the Pilots' fading hopes alive. They're an 85-82 trailer. The southpaw for Norwell knocks it down, making it 85-83.
This is where it would be nice to have a timeout left. You tell them, knock this one down, and we go for the jump ball opportunity to get on the inbounds. I think you have a better chance there at .9 than you do a tip out.
So Gerber once again at the charity stripe with one more opportunity.
He's got to try and miss this to Wassing side.
Free throw good. 85-84 in favor of the Foresters as Gerber's able to knock it down. And substitutions being made here by Bethel as Booker and the Pilots will take their final.
No, Huntington's taking their final
timeout of the ballgame.
Now both teams out of timeouts. Now double bonus. Arrow still favors Bethel, so maybe you got to try to somehow force a jump ball like Coach Gardner was saying earlier.
Coach, do you got any miracles left in that handbag?
No, if I'm Huntington, I just throw the ball down to this end, and somebody just has to touch it. Doesn't matter which team, just has to get touched.
Shane Merriman going to check back into the ball game. So if you look at this ball game, at the Pilots, if they fall here tonight, which certainly appears to be the case, they find themselves in a monster hole at 3 wins and 4 losses, going on the road to Mount Vernon. A team that they're arguably better than, but you got to come out and play it.
So if you want to end a losing streak, that's the place to end it. But you got to show up, you got to play. Matt, how many missed free throws in the second half? Do you know?
Bethel's 12 out of 20 from the free throw line in the second half.
So many missed opportunities. You look at this 3-game losing streak, as we did the 4-game losing streak a year ago. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and that's exactly what has happened. And we see this invariably in this league year in and year out, where teams will go into that little bit of a funk. And right now the Pilots certainly find themselves in that situation as Baster will inbound the basketball.
And 3 ranked teams, it's not like they've lost to bad teams, but you got to, if you're going to go to Branson, you got to pull those things out.
That's right, and you're going to see a lot of ranked teams when you get to Branson. Baster to inbound the basketball, and a foul before the play. Before the clock even.
Travis Smith.
So Travis with the foul prior to. So Miller and Ochin will check in for Booker and Smith as the free throws.
I'm not sure that they can check in because no time came off the clock.
After the first free throw.
So Derek Kynan at the line now here. 85-84. 0.9 to go. And number 2, who has played one heck of a basketball game tonight. He has played as well as any freshman I have seen in this league in the last 15 years.
Yeah, and I think you miss this one intentionally if you're Huntington. You don't let Bethel throw anything the length of the court for a 3-point attempt.
86-84 the lead now as Heinen is at the line again.
22 points.
The free throw off the iron, no good. Ryan Wassing, shot in the way, no good from the length of the floor. Huntington wins the ball game, 86-84. An outstanding win for Huntington on the road. Huntington improves to 16-3 and 6-1 in the Crossroads League. Bethel loses their 3rd consecutive ball game. They are now 14-5 and 3-4 in Crossroads League play. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this short timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. they had no chance of winning. But they had one huge advantage. General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Back live to Bethel College. Paul County along with Mark Gardner, Matt Copsey. I got it right that time. Boy, now I got to get the mic on. I got it right at the names right. Making progress. Pilots at one point in time, a 14-point trailer, I think on 2 occasions. And once again, Matt will correct me if I'm wrong. But make no mistake about it, the ball game going right down to the end. Once again, the Pilots' energy in the second half was much better than it was in the first half, even though they had holes to try to climb out of. But you miss free throws, you miss golden opportunities. And Coach, I know you've talked about you've lost to the number 11 team, you've lost to the number 24 team, and the number 20 team. But if you truly are the best team in your league, you've got to win games against those type of teams. If you're going to contend for a national championship, those are games that you plain and simple have to win. You can beat up on all the little sisters of the poor in whatever non-league game or whatever it is. You've got to step up and make plays. And in all 3 of these games, the Pilots either have been intimidated, they have not executed in key situations, they've missed shots, they've missed free throws. There have been a lot of things that have gone wrong, but still a lot of basketball to play, as Robbie Lightfoot talked about at halftime. You know, this is a long grind, and when it's all said and done, you got to step up. I look at this game and simply at the Pilots, plain and simple, didn't shoot the ball well. Once again, they're shooting at 39%. They come into the ball game shooting 52%. I'd like to give credit to Huntington University and their defense, but the Pilots missed open shot after open shot after open shot.
21 offensive rebounds for the Pilots. And I don't know if they got 10 points off those offensive rebounds. And so, again, you look at the stat line and you go, man, 13 assists, only 6 turnovers, 21 offensive rebounds, 7 for 18 for three-point range. How many did you win by?
Yeah.
And then you look at the scoreboard and go, oh, you let your opponents shoot 54% from the field. Heinen goes off for 22 points. Benedict, who you know is a three-point shooter, knocks down 3 3-pointers. And so, when you lose a game that's that close, you can go back to any possession. Pick any possession. It's in a game like that, and whether it's Keith coming in to play defense and forcing the shot the one time he touches the ball, or whether it's missed free throws, or whether it's 3 missed layups in a row, defense and missed assignments. You can pick any one play and any player that stepped in the fork and say, if I would have made one play smarter or better, we win this game.
All right, let's go over to Matt Copsey with our post-game stats. Matthew Copsey, take it away. Okay, can you do that, Matt?
I sure can.
Thank you.
For Huntington, Derek Heinen, 8 of 13 from the field, 5 of 11 from the free throw line, a game-high 22 points. Tyler Alt, 3 of 4 from the field, all from three-point range, 9 points. TJ Short, 2 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 7 points. Alec Peterson, 2 of 3 from the field for 4 points. Shane Merriman, 7 of 14 from the field, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 21 points. Drew Benedict, 4 of 8 from the field for 11 points. Ryan Baster, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 points. Kyle Pippinger, 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 2. And Daniel Rohr, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 8 points. Huntington was 29 of 54 from the field, 54%. 10 of 24 from three-point range, 42%. 18 out of 28 from the free throw line, 64%. For the Pilots, Travis Smith, 0 of 2 from the field, did not score. Matt Schaus, 3 of 9 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 14 points. Zach Miller, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 16 points. Ryan Benner, 8 of 18 from the field, 3 of 7 from the free throw line, 21 points. Patrick Edding, 3 of 8 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 10 points. Caleb Ocean, 1 of 4 from the field, 2 points. Landon Booker, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 7 points. Brandon Gerber, 2 of 4 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 8 points. Michael Mizzle, 1 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 points. Ryan Wasink, 1 of 2 from the field for 2 points. And Keith Cochran, 0 of 1 from the field for no points. Pilots, 27 of 68 from the field, 40%. 7 out of 18 from three-point range, 39%. 23 out of 35 from the free throw line for 66%. Pilots win the battle of the boards, 43-37. 6 rebounds each for Edding and Schaus. 9 each for Peterson and Merriman for Huntington. 13 assists for Huntington, 5 for Merriman. 13 assists for Bethel, 5 for Matt Schaus. 11 turnovers for Huntington, only 6 for Bethel. 4 block shots for Huntington, all by Peterson. 2 for the Pilots, 1 each for Mislin and Edding. 4 steals for Huntington, 2 for all, 1 for Short, 1 for Wall. 6 for the Pilots, 3 for Ochin, 1 for Edding, 2 for Benner.
All right, Coach, your final thoughts.
There's just this feeling of blah in the air. I tell my players when we go play at the prisons over in Michigan City that when you walk in, you just kind of feel, no matter how sunny it is outside or whatever, once you walk in those walls, there's just a feeling of blah, negativity. Yeah. And it kind of feels that way here. You're used to playing here at home, and the game ends, and kids are shooting baskets, and people are out here talking, and the students are hanging out, and you look around right now, and it's getting pretty empty in here, and probably a lot of people that are sitting there saying, well, I would have done this, I would have done that. You know, all the armchair quarterbacks come out when you lose 3 games in a row and lose by 2 points. And so I think those guys in the locker room need to realize that they're here for each other, and they need to, you can't let mom and dad or your roommate or your girlfriend or your high school coach get in your ear and bring you down. They got to stick together and right this ship together, because if they don't, it's going to be a long road for them.
Pilots now fall to 6-2 at home. This is only the 62nd loss in the history of the program here at home inside this Gates Gymnasium. The Pilots at 185-62, but when Mike Leifert goes back and looks at everything, he's going to think to himself, boy, his 699 career win may be the most difficult of all wins to try to achieve, because they have not been able to get off the schneid. Don't forget to join us coming up tomorrow. We'll be at Bethel Women, but the Lady Pilots will be in action tomorrow. You can join us for the broadcast at 6:40 Eastern Time. Adam Demery and I will be on the call over in the Maryland Athletic Complex over in Huntington for that one. Once again, thanks again to Matt Copsey. Tremendous work with the mic on or off, and even being sometimes Matt Schaus, sometimes Matt Copsey. He played along real well. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate you, buddy, and love you very much. Huntington improves to 16-3 and 6-1 in the conference. Pilots dropped to 14-5 and 3-4 for Coach Mark Gardner and Matt Copsey. Tiny County with all the stats and all the details. Once again, Bethel College basketball has been brought to you in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group, Teachers Credit Union, Beef O'Brady's, Cardinal Bus, Mitros Orthopedics, Hacienda Mexican Restaurants, and anchoring our coverage all season long, our friends at the United States Marine Corps. The few that proud the Marines. If you think you have what it takes, call 1-800-MARINES or log on to www.marines.com. Once again, final score here from Bethel College. Huntington 86, Bethel 84. For all of us at Regional Radio Sports, I think I know who we are. We'll be right back tomorrow. We're here with you on Regional Radio Sports. So join us then. For Brad Brink, who's been taking care of all the business upstairs, Bradley, as always, great work. Thanks to Pat Doherty for his help as well tonight. I'm Paul Condry. God bless you all. Semper Fidelis. Good night, everyone.